Welcome to Politics on the Rocks, episode 17. I'm your host, Nick. That was Blue Side of the Mountain by the Steel Drivers. To my right, I have Christopher.
What it do?
Across from me, I have Boogie.
Hello, hello.
And as always, Cameron is with us.
Hey! Today our special guest is Chicken Cock Bourbon, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Good stuff.
Yeah.
This is the kind of bourbon that you drink when you made it. You know?
When you what?
When you made it. You
made it to the top?
Yeah, like when you're looking
you-
over your balcony from your house on the beach.
It's really good.
And you're just looking at all the people who are not you and haven't made it.
Yep. All those people not enjoying chicken cock.
That are not enjoying cock in their mouth.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Oh, chicken cock.
Chicken cock. Okay.
Yeah.
Chicken cock in your mouth. That's right.
That's
Yeah.
right. This is good stuff.
It is good. He told me a little history about it, but naturally I don't remember any of it. So,
Wow, the second taste was even better.
I'm pretty sure.
yeah, as you sip it, it gets better.
It's actually, it's actually really good.
That's what's kind of cool about whiskey. It it just keeps getting better. From your first bottle to your 100th bottle, each one is better than the next.
You know.
That's not always true.
Yeah, no, it's not. But
If you're drinking the same bottle,
yeah,
yeah.
there's definitely. Well, drink. No, but seriously, like the company matters too. A lot of people, I think, don't align that with like what you're drinking. You know, like what you're actually doing too. You know, like enjoying the companies of people that you like.
I thought you meant the company of like the distillery.
Oh yeah.
But
That's what
yeah.
No, I'm just like the experience. Right?
Yeah.
It's
It's the same thing with cigars. A lot of people that
that's
don't
true.
smoke cigars are like, what's the point? You don't inhale it. It's like, it's just the ritual and the experience, and that's like at least 50% of it.
Oh, for sure. Sitting around.
It's just the cigar and the whiskey is also excellent, but it's like the ritual behind it all,
Yeah, I mean, in a society that's like so fast paced and like never stopping, like to sit down and like smoke a cigar and drink a little whiskey and shoot the shit is like super, like maybe needed.
Oh, for
You know,
sure.
like-
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's definitely relaxing and worth it, but possibly something that we should do.
Mm-hmm.
If the whole world drank whiskey and smoked cigars,
Oh, forget about it.
I guess there probably a lot of people would end up fighting.
I don't get that. A lot of people have that
that's
like,
probably a good point.
yeah, but I feel like that's like a very common thing. Like people always associate whiskey to like fighting and stuff. Like I don't know. When I get drunk on whiskey, I don't feel that at all.
Yeah, me neither. Maybe it's just the Irish stereotypes.
I think maybe if I drank shitty whiskey when I was younger, I used to do
yeah.
that. But like that's why I didn't really drink it when I was younger. But
You know what though? You should drink whiskey with people that you don't want to fight.
Yeah,
And
that's a really good point.
That's a good point, right?
Yeah.
Drink and smoke with people who
You shouldn't be drinking
enjoy.
whiskey with people that you want to punch in the face.
Yeah, they say you should only drink whiskey with your closest friends because the truth comes out.
True.
I don't know.
That's
And
exactly
that's
why
what they
we
say.
do it.
I don't know.
That's exactly why we do it on the podcast.
Yeah. Recorded for everyone to hear.
Exactly. because
Archived so you can
This is
pull
us,
this
people.
10 years later.
This is us.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, well, anyway, this week we're going to be talking about some school board stuff. Indian River County School Board.
Big school
And
board, guys.
There's some other things that we're just going to mention that have happened over the week. I don't know. Anything worth like specifically mentioning, or just just want to dive in?
We just dive into school board and
I'm about to dive in.
we'll surprise them with the other topics.
Ooh, we'll surprise you with the tip.
Just the tip.
All right, well, Boogie, if you want to kick it
The
off.
tips.
Ooh. Well, I think to kick it off, we probably have a little discussion first, just to quickly bring people back up to speed if they don't remember last time we talked about the Indian River School Board. Would be 3 weeks ago tomorrow. They instated the mandate on masks in all Indian River County schools, only allowing for a medical exemption. And obviously, like anything right now, they had a big pushback and people wanting it. And then we discussed that when that happened, and if you guys want to say anything as well for that. But I remember one of the key things we talked about was just implementing something like that during a time when we've started to see a decline in cases. Again, it's government, so it's it's after the fact, and then we were worried that because they're already on the decline, and that's going to affect the schools, because obviously it's within the county, they're going to see a decline in cases in the schools and connect 2 + 3 to equal 6 and say, well, that's because we put the mask mandates.
That's exactly what they did.
It helped with the, slow down the case travels in the school. We talked about a couple other things that, I guess you could say are standard, and how we felt about the mask mandates and how we don't agree with it, and how, when it comes to masking kids, it's not even definitive if that's helpful. If anything, there's more evidence that's non-helpful with learning, which if you're part of the school board and if you listen to what they say, especially the superintendent, he brings kids learning up quite a bit. So it's interesting that they would still be in favor of a school mask for kids. So, and then I guess anything you want to say about that before we jump into what they just did?
I think we kind of hammered that.
Okay. Direct. Bam, bam, hammered. Now, last week, because we do these on Mondays and they talk on Tuesdays, they met again, and they have typically a workshop before they have the open school board meeting. And the workshop's more of they discuss with each other, and it's live streamed, about anything it's a superintendent workshop, so anything the superintendent brings towards them that he wants to either recommend to them or he thinks is necessary, needs to be brought up, that's going on in the county for the schools. That's what the workshop's for, and it's time for them to discuss these things, talk about changing policy, budgets, anything that has to do with that, but nothing's acted on, so it's all discussion.
Yeah, it's kind of a primer for the evening discussion.
Correct. It's I mean, not 100% sure, but as far as I can tell, it's let's get all of this discussion out of the way before we have the school board meeting so that can be run a lot smoother.
Right.
That's what it seems like it's for. And then they had the school board meeting after that, which is around 6 or so, and that's when they brought up everybody came in, gave their grievances for or against the masks, and they brought up their new method for handling COVID in the schools, which is their tiered system. If anybody else wants to break that down.
Yeah, so the see, I have a screenshot here, but basically the tiers are like color coded, and so they're like there's 4 of them: green, yellow, orange, red. Green is it's based off of percentage of school population with an active COVID-19 case.
Yeah, it's the children and staff
Yep.
combined.
And so the low tier, the green tier, is less than 1%, and then yellow is 1 to 2%. Orange is 3 to 4%, and red is greater than or equal to 5%. So,
You good? What's that?
it's making me laugh because there's percentages missing, like between 2 and 3 is missing.
Oh yeah,
So
right.
Orange should be 2 to 4, not 3 to 4.
Yeah.
And then red should be 4 or greater, or greater than 4, not greater than or equal to 5. But whatever.
We don't talk about those numbers.
These aren't math majors.
Yeah. So what happens if your school is like?
Yeah,
4%?
what happens if you have 2.5%?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, besides that, so yeah, they had this nice color coded graph showing the last month. And it kind of like showed the spike that we had here in Florida at the end of August, beginning of September, which was kind of the time where they met, around the time when they met last time, 2 weeks ago. And so since then, it's kind of like died down. Most of the schools are either at 1% or below 1% at this point. I think there's one school, that Vero Beach Elementary, is still at like 4%. But they're on their way down. So, anyways, that's basically the gist of the breakdown. And basically, once it's in the red, above 5%, then they all have to wear masks. And then at orange, isn't it like a optional?
It's like highly recommended, I think.
Right. And then yellow and green is like not,
Green's like you should do it, but you don't have to. And then,
Right.
like, I think Orange is like, well, it's starting to get a little hectic out here, guys. Maybe we should put a mask on.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, I don't understand the whole orange.
Yeah, I did want to mention that it was brought up by possibly a favorite now after these past 2 meetings that we've been watching, Rosario, is she brought up the fact that almost 99% of these mitigation techniques they put in here, or that are in here, this tiered system, have already been in effect.
Yeah.
The only one that's changed now is I think during the workshop, she brought up that if we're going to do all this, why don't we do temperature checks?
Right.
That seems like a more...
A better...
Yeah, like
A
a
better-
preventative measure.
Yeah.
Where,
And so they put that in there. So I think that's the only difference now. Everything else has been in effect, except for the actual tiering the system and telling schools when to wear masks and not to wear masks.
Mm-hmm.
And to give them credit, this is a plus, that now this tiered system is a school-by-school basis. So it's not a blanket mandate. So, like
It gives the schools...
autonomy.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is autonomy, but it's not really. Like, it's a case-by-case, which I think, obviously...
It's better
is
than what they
better-
did.
Right, you can't just assign blanket policy
Yeah.
to... Yeah.
Instead of shooting in the head, they shot you in the lower gut, so you might live.
Right.
But I did want to mention that because I think that's something that doesn't get brought up when obviously the superintendent's talking and the other board members didn't mention a thing about it. So if you're just listening to this, like, oh wow, they're putting all this new stuff into effect. Whereas she mentioned, this is all that we've been doing. Like, this has all been a fact.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not really changing anything. We're just tiering it up, and now schools can have a limit to now they have to mandate masks.
So now does this... Under this new guidance, does this still go against DeSantis's ban on mask mandates for schools?
I would say yes.
Right.
Based on the fact that once it hits red, it's only via medical exemption.
Right.
And then they did get into a spat at the end of the board meeting, and 2 of the members, Berenberg and Rosario, mainly Berenberg, because Rosario didn't want the red zone, like if you want to call it, not to be there because it brings up medical, and she doesn't want masks to be mandated. But Berenberg also wanted a byline in there, so it's a medical exemption.
So if you're bisexual, you don't have to wear one?
Correct.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So that, and then
That's
also,
fair. That's
you
fair.
also have to wear one on your butt.
yeah, like a diaper. But no, so Berenberg wanted to bring
Put
up.
one strap around you. Anyway, yeah.
No, you're good. So she wanted a byline in there that stated that you could reach out to someone part of the school board or school committee and talk to them on a one-on-one basis. And so if it's not like just a medical reason, you could possibly get an exemption for something else.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a battle they had. It was a pretty long battle.
It was
Yeah.
a battle
So the-
not against Rosario, but against the school board.
Yeah, they wanted to take. So what the argument was over at the beginning was, so you're in the red, you have to wear a mask other than if you are medically exempt. But they wanted to take medical out. They wanted it to be
Like
just
a personal
opt-out.
exemption.
Yeah, just an opt-out option. Like is indicated in DeSantis's mandate. He said that, there has to be an opt-out option. That's like the whole
Right.
point. And so they were kind of arguing back and forth. I believe Rosario and Brandenburg.
Berenberg, I think?
Berenberg. So both of them were kind of on the side of taking the medical out so that people
Right.
just had an opt-out option.
Right.
But the rest of the school board was against that, and they wanted to keep medically in there because they don't want people opting
Just
out.
opting out, yeah.
And then, so then they came up with a alternative solution, which was they don't take medical out, but they say you're medically exempt, or you have a conversation with the principal or someone on the school board or something.
Yeah.
To get.
But that's almost, isn't that kind of like almost passing the burden?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, well, we couldn't get it done, so maybe you'll have a lenient principal who will
Right.
accept some whatever lackadaisical excuse,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
we
so
think
it's
is a great idea. But
It's going to be school by school.
Yeah.
Some schools, the principal's going to not allow any exemptions, and then at other
Right.
schools, they're just going to let.
I think it's worth noting that, you still have your medical privacy. You know, that's still one of your rights. So if you have a good family doctor and you just ask them like, "Hey, can you write me you know what I mean?" Like,
No, that's true. And then they,
you know,
during the workshop, they brought up the fact that there's a guy in Sebastian, a chiropractor, who was pretty much handing out for like $20 medical exemptions.
Right.
And it was funny because like
That's
a
fantastic.
couple of the board members were pissed about it based on like, how they talked about it. Not all of them, obviously, but not insinuating anything. But it was just funny that they were like pissed that, you know,
those damn doctors.
No, it was more of like the way it sounds to me is more of, you know, hey, we're demanding your kids wear a mask except with a medical exemption. You found a loophole in our demand. How fucking dare you do that?
Yeah. I mean, cause so what happened
It's like-
on social media after the last mandate was, you know, these ladies who have, or these moms or whatever who were pissed off about it.
Or parents, Cameron. Come on, dads care too.
Yeah, right.
Sexist.
Yeah, okay, whatever. But the moms mostly on social media were like, "Look, this is what we're gonna do." And then there was actually doctors that came out on there and were like, "Oh, I'm not gonna do this," and blah 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 blah. I just happened to run across it because I know some angry moms or whatever. But yeah, I mean, hey, I mean, you know, we could argue whether or not a chiropractor's a real doctor, but if he can do an exemption, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna bring that up.
Exactly. I mean, it's just funny that, like, again, they make this ruling that, you know, if you're being conservative, 50% of the people who are part of the county are not a fan of. They find a way to get around your exemption, and you're pissed about it. It's like, I mean, that's what do you want them to do?
Yeah. You're leaving them literally no option.
I guess they could pay no taxes, but
Yeah.
I did want to mention something else because, you know, I think the superintendent's a pretty cool guy. You know, he seems like a decent human being, Mr. Moore.
I've never
Dr.
seen
Moore to you, son.
Yeah, right?
I've never seen a guy say so many words and not actually say anything.
I can't believe I haven't brought this up yet, guys. Just
Hey,
so you know, this tiered thing, it's data driven.
Yes.
It's driven purely by data. So you can't argue with them because the data drives it.
You know what Mr. Moore said?
Data driven.
He said,
Yeah.
"Data take the wheel," and it did. It took the wheel.
Oh man! Before I do want to like just rag on the whole data thing.
Some would say arguing with Dr. Moore is like
Arguing
denying
data?
science.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
No, he's using loose science to not be argued with. But so a quote I did find from him. It's like we mentioned, they did, you know, slightly point to the fact that they made a mask mandate, and they know that the decrease in cases overall Florida went down. They're like, oh, you know, that's good. We did this. But I think he was questioned about it. Honestly, I don't remember this. But he did mention that, you know, a lot of the school staffs, they made that school staff mask mandate a week before the children one I mentioned last episode. And, you know, we had grievance the fact that they didn't give enough time to see if that actually affected it. And he brought that up. He's like, well, we did the mask mandate for teachers, and that was good, and that probably had an effect. But quoting him, he said, even more so, because we're on a downside on the pandemic, so the fact that there was less COVID cases was because we're on a downside of the pandemic.
Right. He even acknowledged it.
He acknowledged
yeah.
it.
But
So-
then took credit for
Yeah.
the downside of the pandemic.
Like, yeah, he didn't come out straight, but, you know, it's like, oh, we did this. It was good.
But
the data.
there's a
But I still-
downturn.
Yeah,
on
but it was just funny. I saw that quote from like, so you still, like, you acknowledge it, but how do like it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you're acknowledging that COVID cases are dropping, but you're still gonna loosely take credit for the drop in cases because of the masks.
And not even the credit, like which they probably do, but you can even point towards that masks work.
Yeah, right.
Like the entire state of Florida didn't have a mask mandate.
Yeah, it's
but
not
cases
that
went down.
there's it's not that there's natural like cycles and they last about 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
Exactly.
like we've seen since the beginning of
But
this thing.
like for me, it seems like they don't take any. They don't really seem to acknowledge the fact that like the kids still had to wear a mask and what the side effects of that may have been.
Right, that gets ignored a lot.
It gets totally ignored. Like, we did this happened.
There's
okay.
no like risk and a reward.
Yeah, there's no like
assessment.
assessment of like what really happened.
Yeah.
Why the kids are wearing these things, because they're not the ones wearing them.
And that's a big
You know?
argument that this is getting sidetracked, but that's a big argument with homeschooling. People are like, oh, kids that get homeschooled, they don't get any sort of whatever interaction with kids. But then it's like the other argument is like, okay, well, can we really argue that and ignore that maybe not all interaction at public schools is good for kids? You know what I mean? I think that's just an interesting, kind of comparison to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to give them slight credit because that was talked about during the workshop. He did acknowledge the fact that
Homeschool kids have to wear masks?
yeah, that and he acknowledged that masking kids does have a downside.
Did
Oh,
he
good.
acknowledge the fact?
But again, yeah, go ahead, go. Sorry.
Well, because
I don't
he's
mean to
such-
interrupt.
I just want to take this
Not to interrupt
opportunity
you.
to shit on Dr. Moore a little more. So since he's such a data-driven guy, did he acknowledge the fact that there are actually numbers in between 2 and 3?
I can't recall. We might have to send him an email about that one.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's just funny, just like the quote I talked about a little while ago, that he mentioned the fact that there's downsides to having kids wear masks in schools. He brought up the fact that they can't see their teacher talk, which is a big way that kids learn how to speak. You see lips move.
Yeah.
It's a big distraction. Kids with, learning disabilities, it affects even further.
Yeah, that would have fucked you up, Cam. Good thing you're
Oh, yeah.
older now.
Yeah.
No doubt.
But again, but he says these things, but then it gets swept under the rug.
I'd be in the back and be like, I can't see your face! What are you saying?
All the dyslexic and mentally handicapped kids are just like tweaking out.
I'm just over there just like feeling my forehead and like rubbing my face. Yeah.
Karen's like, the teacher has no lips. Where's her nose? Oh, shit.
But yeah, so I don't know, man. It's just, again, they state these things that are factual, and we all know these are like, purely factual, but you're still going to do these things that we don't even know if it has a positive effect on outcome of COVID.
Right, because
Like,
even still to this date, there's still no evidence that masks actually do anything.
Yeah, and you could even be more specific, say masking children does anything.
Well, yeah, that even more so,
Because
right.
even if you can find a study, which of course you can, that says N95 masks worn correctly and perfectly does affect the virus load, you have to look at it realistically in real life situations where a kid doesn't fucking do anything correctly.
Right,
There's
you have a
kid.
bunch of retards wearing masks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Picking their nose,
Yeah.
licking the tables.
Right.
Like, you think they can wear a cloth mask for...
Learning impaired, Nick.
Yeah, retard, that's what I said.
And then another thing, again, I'll mention a lot of things, but a couple of stuff I saw is... It's a little bit after he mentioned the downside to wearing masks, and then quickly, not change the subject, but kept going on, was he was talking about how, they want to do all these mitigations so the kids can learn. They can have a normal, as close to normal school as they can, right? So again, he brings up learning in these situations where this is most important. But then talking about how they're going to implement these mitigation strategies, he kind of tiered it a little bit. And again, this is a little bit not out of context.
Big
This is
tear guy.
yeah, he loves tears. He didn't say it, but this is me kind of the way he stated them. You could say it's not what he meant, which again, it's perfectly fine. But if you're thinking as a person saying this is how they think of it inside their head, he brought up these mitigation strategies were for school safety, school staying open, and then affecting the children's education. So again, this isn't 100% true or anything like that, but if I'm going to infer that the way I want, which I'm going to, again, he's more worried about our school safes, which you can argue that, schools being open, which we all know that's most important because that's his job,
Yeah.
keeping schools open, and then it's education of kids.
Mm.
So you can't have it both ways, where you're more worried about school or kids learning, and then possibly be more worried about the schools being open and safe. Because what the fuck does safe mean?
Yeah, that's kind of an arbitrary
Yeah.
term, and we all know the stats, the statistics with the kids in COVID. There's since this whole thing started, and I can already hear people screeching, but I was looking at this stuff the other day. I mean, over 600,000 people have died total. Of kids that are 17 or younger, 400 since COVID started.
Yeah.
Over a year ago.
Yeah, I think I seen something maybe last week that more kids died in Chicago that weekend that I read this. More kids died that weekend in Chicago than the virus killed.
Jeez.
Yeah. I think it was like, I don't know, 10 and under or something, so obviously not the 400 number you were talking about, but
Still.
But yeah, it's like, where's all the outcry for that? Where's all the,
Yeah, where's your tiered system?
Yeah.
David Moore for those
David
kids in
Moore.
Chicago.
Yeah.
I would almost be
Lori Lightfoot.
I would always be more inclined for like, look, if you're gonna be a teacher, because that's the thing. Like, if you're looking at the data, this is obviously not really for kids; it's for teachers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, fully.
yeah.
Like,
And so, like, look, if you're gonna be a teacher and you're worried about getting COVID, then maybe you should get vaccinated or whatever, right? And so, bam, problem solved.
well, kind of.
Well,
It
yeah,
depends who
okay.
you ask.
Yeah, you're right. I understand what you're saying, but like,
No, I know what you're saying too.
Yeah, no, that's the point where they have to admit that the vaccine isn't that effective.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the other part.
Right.
That's the other part of the story,
Yep.
isn't it?
And then you could even take that further and say, well, now if you acknowledge that the vaccine isn't 100%, and if you have comorbidity, morbidities, and you're not the healthiest person, and you're a teacher, and
Be healthy.
correct, and you have a vaccine, and you're still worried about it, well, guess what? We can't stop the world for you, right? Like, it's unfortunate. Like, it sucks. Trust me. Like, I would, if that was happening to me, I'd be upset about it. But we can't just stop everything because there might be some unhealthy teachers, right? Like, should kids wear masks because the teacher's unhealthy? I would say no.
Right. Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah,
It's like we should start removing all McDonald's because,
exactly.
right? Like, I don't know how the argument's any different.
It's not down to the core.
Yep.
No, ban McDonald's. I'm on that team.
Yeah, well, I don't know, bro. I
not
fucks
team.
with them Big Macs every once
They
in a while,
got that
like,
2 for $60 right now. Big Mac, a quarter pound cheese.
2 for 60?
For
Six.
Oh,
sorry.
you said- I
You
think
said
it's
60.
60.
You
Yeah.
said
I'm like, that's a lot of
yeah.
mac.
My tongue was going crazy.
yeah.
But do you guys want to just have a little fun with that data driven that was kept being talked about?
Data driven. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
let's talk about the 2.3%. I'm just not gonna drop
Yeah,
that.
you shouldn't. It's funny.
I just love that. I just love like imagining him like sitting there creating that fucking chart that he had for like 5 hours and somehow
He's
not
like, what's the
realizing
numbers?
somehow not realizing that his percentage like brackets were completely fucked.
Yeah, there's an entire
Yeah.
1% missing.
Or
from
even
it.
if it wasn't him, it was like his like team member that had to design it.
Yeah.
Just like
It was his data analyst.
yeah.
Well, that's a good point, right? Because the guy makes a lot of money,
Right.
so he probably has an assistant.
Too much.
No, he makes
How
what?
much? How much
like,
does he make?
Like 40,000, right?
Fuck. Times
wait,
4,
is
he
this-
probably makes...
Is this guy the superintendent?
Yeah, you looked
Yeah,
it up.
more.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, he makes 170,000.
Yeah.
almost.
That is insane to me.
Yeah,
That's a lot of money, bro.
A public servant.
yeah. I was wondering why I was walking by that school district building and there was a bunch of Land Rovers and shit in the parking lot.
There's your
Yeah.
answer right there.
Hey, and you know what the best part is? You paid for it.
Yeah.
Don't bring it up. But no, it's just to get on like a little soapbox real fast. I don't know. When you're gonna say data driven like 5,000 times within a day during multiple streams and multiple meetings, like at least back it up with some type of definition, because that's a word that means nothing. Like, what data are you using? Like, what does that represent?
It's a catchphrase. It's
Exactly.
like a-
Yeah.
Like you're like
a
pretty
media
much
talking
the
point.
data he's using is just the COVID cases. Congratulations.
That's
one data
one
point.
of those things that we were kind of talking about. I think last episode about like just those little phrases that politicians use, those
Yeah.
little turns of phrases that you just know immediately that they're talking out of their ass.
This is a nonsensical language.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the COVID versions of that type of
Yeah.
phrase. You know,
And then all the NPCs just,
it's data driven.
yeah.
Or follow the science.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's the same thing because again, if you're using actual data, well, let me know what data you're using. Okay, well, you're using COVID cases. Well, how does that even coincide with using masks for kids? That's
Right.
not even like causational. Like,
Yeah.
you have to have more data than that, right? You're gonna show me data that actually shows that masking children works. That would be data driven, but you
Right.
don't
Yeah, because it doesn't exist.
because you have a doctor on your board that sits there and probably makes a quarter or three-quarters
Right,
what you make.
just for you to be able to go, well, he agrees.
Yeah.
Yeah. His PhD agrees.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, what about these docs that don't agree?
Right.
Well, they're not on the board. Well,
My favorite is like when you know, talk to these, you know, the other side of this argument and, you know, you hit them with nothing but like good, you know, retorts to their arguments, whatever. And maybe this is just my own personal experience because I just love arguing with people, but it always reduces down to, well, people are dying from it.
Yeah, like
It's like, so like everything else in the world?
so
Or-
like let's stop driving cars.
yeah, and that's always what I'm like, well, if you're gonna, you know, like ignore everything that like, you know, yes, more people are getting it, but even more people are surviving from it. And, you know, all this shit, it's like, if you're gonna base your life and how free you're willing to live off of the, you know, depending on where you fall into this, you know, mortality rate, if you're going to base your life on that percentage, then you might as well just never leave your fucking house because you're surrounded by those percentages, right? Like,
Right.
our bracket, what, 20 to 30? Well, some of you are fucking old, so looking at you two.
20 to 40.
Oh no, you guys
I'm
are only
30, bro.
Yeah, all right,
Yeah.
so yeah.
That's all right. Put me in the 40.
Well, I think it's 20 to 29, so you're in a different bracket, bro.
I'm not talking to you anymore.
his guy's like his like left hand's holding on to that bracket.
Yeah. He's holding on to it with his like finger. He's like, I'm still there. But yeah, if you take our bracket, what is it, like 0.02% chance we'll die from it?
It's ridiculous.
Is it that small or is it even smaller? I haven't looked in a while.
It's around that area.
right. Let's even say it's 1%, right?
Let's just say it's 50%. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of right there with you, but
Yeah.
I mean,
1% or the 1% or the 1%.
If you're a fraction of a percent, like you have way more things to worry about than COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you're gonna base your entire life on that small percentage. You might as well just not leave your house.
Yeah.
You know.
But yeah, it's exactly like what Bookie just said. Like, even if 50% of people are fucking dying from this shit, I still don't support mandatory injections,
Right.
or
Yeah.
any of that shit. It's nonsense.
I think if it was 100% mortality rate, I wouldn't agree with mandates.
Yeah, I'd be like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Like,
let's
if you
do it.
get this virus, you will die. I'm like, I don't care. Give it to me.
Party like it's our last day.
I'm buying a sailboat, bro, and I'm out, dude. If that's the case, man, I'm not hanging out with you guys.
Mandate sailboats and private islands. There you go.
That's it.
Oh
Yes.
man. But yeah, I mean, and everybody's been talking about it. I think Joe Rogan's probably been the biggest guy who's brought up the fact that, you know, people who are most worried about the virus killing them, and they probably have a reason to worry because they're, you know, if you want to say unhealthy is a nice word for it. You know, you've had this past 18 months to do something about it. And
Yeah.
no, you can't turn it around 100% in 18 months, but you can make a dent.
Yeah, you can make some huge lifestyle changes.
And
in
not
18 months.
not when the only places that were deemed essential were fast food restaurants and
Or you
Amazon.
Yo, you can go
You
buy
know.
a salad, bro. I was fat 3 weeks ago, and I started dieting. You could do it.
and you're still
Yeah.
fat. So
And I'm just slightly less fat.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Good
did
for
you guys
though.
hear that the salads are going to be vaccinated now?
Oh yeah, you saw that?
I saw that meme. Was it real?
no,
Yeah,
that's
no, it's
yeah,
real.
no, that's real.
Oh, okay.
They're
It's real.
yeah.
I saw it on like some university website.
Yeah.
But
Legit.
What are you
with
talking
that
about?
being said, I seen something last year that they're working on. I can't remember if they were working on it or they found a way to basically create a vaccine that's transmittable. So like if I have the vaccine and I'm with you guys would get
So
it.
it's like a aerial vaccine, like a virus.
guess. I
live,
don't know.
a live vaccine.
Was
Yeah.
that the whole shedding thing?
No, that's something completely different, and I can't remember what
Yeah,
exactly that is.
Honestly, I tried looking into that. It seemed
it's
kind of
confusing.
We're a medical boards. I think we should
It
discuss it.
seemed kind of far fetched.
Yeah, let's look it up.
Yeah, where the fuck's Joe Rogan's doctor?
Viral shedding refers to this second fate because these viruses can go on to infect someone who is exposed to the nasal or oral.
Is that on Q.com, QReport.com?
Yeah, that's the only place I get my news and medical information from. QAnon.
Infowars.
The duration of virus. Yeah, I don't know. Let me see. You guys keep talking.
Yeah. So to bring it back to the school board, you know, they had this long discussion. I mean, there was like I think 40 people went to that school board meeting to, you know, give their 3 minutes of opinion and bash or congratulate the school board for.
Did anybody bring up the percentage brackets and how they were fucked?
No, honestly, I didn't listen to them all. It's hard, but I don't think so. But I don't know, man. I want to finish the school board meeting with just kind of how it ended, but listening to the couple of people talk, some for and some against, and obviously I'm biased because I'm against mask mandates, but it just, and we brought up many times, it's hard to even try to see where someone's coming from when what they're trying to do is force someone to do something, and what the other side's trying to do is just give you an option.
Yeah. Right.
It's very hard. And I don't know if anybody said that at the meeting. Again, it's not going to do anything because the people sitting down already made up their mind what they're going to do. But I don't know. It's just something that I think should always be said because, again, you're trying to force someone to do something against their will, and I'm just saying, hey, you can do that, but don't force anything against me.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I think that's the great point of this whole thing is, like you said, one side is forcing their opinion on others, and the other side is just telling them, hey, I don't agree with you. You can do whatever the fuck you want, but don't force it on me.
It's been refreshing to see a lot of I don't want to say pro-vax because I feel like these definitions are getting misconstrued, but the people who are more the people that
COVID vax.
Yeah, the people that think, more like, you probably should get the vaccine even if you're not at risk, like that group of people to even, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Choking on chicken cock.
Yeah, choking on cock over there.
Cock
It's been refreshing to see more of those people like overtly against, mandates, which I obviously think is a good thing. I think everybody should be against the mandates, but, I think he's a state representative, Omari Hardy or some shit. Hardy. He's some black dude. He lives down in South Florida, but he posted something on his Instagram where he was, and he has the type of following where like he could say anything about DeSantis, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, good for you," like blah blah blah, whatever. And he posted something criticizing DeSantis for his ban on the mask mandate. And I went and just read the comments just for shits and giggles, and I was really happy to see everybody like basically calling him out on his shit, like because he tried saying that DeSantis was like an authoritarian or something, and I'm like, how on earth can you call somebody that's fighting for more freedom an authoritarian versus the opposite?
Yeah, literally, he had to put in a mandate to prevent authoritarianism. Really, is what it was doing. And like we just said, it still gave you the option to wear a mask if you want to. Yeah.
So
it didn't say nobody's allowed to wear a mask.
So by their definition, authoritarianism is if they're not doing what I want them to do.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's exactly what it boils down to.
It's very slippery slope there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here was the post. It was when the courts overturned the appeal that DeSantis had, the appeals court.
Oh, when he won it?
Yeah, he goes, breaking. Federal judge just blocked Governor DeSantis' anti-protest. Wait, no, this is something else. Never mind.
That was the first ruling.
Yeah, no, this was for the anti-protest law, where you could basically run people over. Give me a second. I gotta find it, yeah.
No worries. But, so, at the end of the meeting, end of the school board meeting, they finally come down and they have to vote on what's been given to them by the superintendent. And, two of the people, obviously the people who have been campaigning a little more freedom on the school board lately have been Barenberg and Rosario.
You actually commented on that.
And so they were for implementing this new tiered mandate because it would give most of the schools who aren't even in his tiered red area to not have to wear masks. Because they're saying, why are we going to keep these kids that keep wearing masks for another 2 weeks when based on what you just gave us, they shouldn't be wearing masks if we're going to use this as the code of law, right? And it was cool that they brought that up because that makes a lot of sense. Why are we going to force kids to continue to wear masks when based on what you just gave us, they don't need to?
Right.
And, he wanted to wait until the 28th to implement it, so it'd be after the next meeting, the 20th of September.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was just crazy, and I'm glad that they did get that changed, so it changed today, this Monday.
Okay.
Nice.
So that was awesome to see. Barefoot actually was for it as well. I'd like to have a drink with that guy. He seems pretty cool. Don't agree with everything he says, but
yeah, he seems cool. He just basically just talks whenever people get a little too rowdy. And he's like, hey, shut the fuck up! Right, next person.
Well, in what was the little meeting? What'd you call it? The meeting they had before.
Oh, the workshop they have.
Yeah, the workshop. It sounded like they had like serious problems in the past with like people screaming and shit.
Oh yeah, I think it was like the last meeting they had.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one, so
Yeah.
it's from the workshop. It sounded like they had a serious problem.
Well, yeah,
with
people were pissed that they were going to mandate masks for the kids.
It's like maybe that should be a sign to
no,
not-
it doesn't mean anything, Nick.
No, yeah, right. It's
No,
just
at
people
the,
being
at the end
disrespectful.
at the end of that meeting, there were some like angry moms, bro, and they
The
walked out.
last one or the one that just happened?
No, the one before that one.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
right.
they
yeah.
came up at the end and they were like
This
giving
is
him
bullshit.
giving
Yeah,
him
they're
the,
like, you
the
guys.
pointer finger and
Yeah.
telling him about himself. You know.
Yeah.
I feel like
They're pissed.
they need we need the moms there, the angry moms, like you have said, Cam, because
And dads.
if a man shows up and starts like yelling at people, it's like automatically like construed as like a
Yeah,
right,
he-
just an aggressive guy.
He's a
Yeah.
terrorist. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like if the moms are there fucking yelling at people, people
They're just
listen.
fucking pissed.
People
Moms.
fucking listen.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like, oh
That's
shit,
true.
mom's pissed.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Mom is
better
upset.
listen up.
for sure. For sure.
Ain't nobody playing with Mama Bear.
No.
But to me, it was funny that he wanted to wait to implement this to the 28th, and his reasoning was to give his team and himself time to implement this new tier program that, again, doesn't really change a lot. You know, so they can let all the principals know about it, and they can bring them up to speed.
Why can't you implement that tomorrow?
Exactly.
I don't get it.
But then later on, he went to go say that he wanted to get past this whole COVID thing so they can continue working on educational things.
Oh well, this is the same guy that said 50 fucking times in the workshop. You know me, I don't like masks.
Yeah, but it's just funny that you
Fucking
wanted to hold
probably
on.
sleeps with his fucking mask on.
Yeah, you wanted to work on this for the next 2 weeks, but then you bring up later that you want to get past this. If you want to get past it, you want to get past it. Why are you going to hold on to it for 2 weeks? And
And it's also interesting to worth noting that they were ready to implement masks almost immediately, but now they need 2 weeks to do this.
and Barenberg and Rosario brought that up. They're like, you only gave teachers and parents 3 days
Yeah.
last time. Like,
Right.
what's the difference now?
Yeah. Exactly.
It's because it's something
'Cause
that
they're
you may
dropped.
agree on more, that you're okay with leaving it in.
Right, because
Good-
they're
good
going
for
down.
them
They're
calling
going
him out.
back. So,
Good for them.
yeah.
And that's another thing we have to give. Again, I don't agree with everything Barefoot says, but he was for that too. He's like, that makes sense. We gave them 3 days and a weekend to do it last time. Do it this time.
Yeah.
yeah.
good.
So that's what happened. They, I believe Rosario was the only one not to vote for the tiered program because they didn't change the wording out of medical.
Yep.
And then it was passed 3-2, I think, for pushing the new tiered system into place starting today. And the only other thing to add on to that is if the tiered system implemented today is for the K through 8, and then it's going to go into effect for high school starting on the 29th. So
Why is it different for the high school? Did they address that?
it was
I don't remember.
the way he said it, and they were able to get it so the K through 8, it's because K through 8 is what's been affected. High schools never got affected with the mask mandate.
It was
Okay.
because they can't get the vaccine, right? Wasn't that their reasoning the last
It was-
time?
Oh yeah, maybe.
It was that, and I guess they had enough staff to cover the sick teachers.
Okay.
Because again, it's all about keeping the school open so it looks good,
Right.
and you get your next bonus and paycheck.
Right.
So, the high schools weren't affected that greatly on the staff side. So the way they did it was, well, the K through 8 already through this. Just update them real fast on what's going on now, so the kids can get out of mass, and we'll give you 2 weeks since it's not going to change anything to the high school students. So that's pretty much it. I don't know. Kind of sucks, but I guess when it comes to what we have to deal with our government is a couple little wins here and there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like you said, it sucks. It's not really a win, but at least it appears that they're approaching this from a logical standpoint, and just instead of just saying everyone wears a mask,
I hope it's like in law, in effect, with the fucked up tiers, so that like the first week they're just like, what the fuck? What do we do?
We're in a weird percentage. We don't know. Shut this go down.
It's that SpongeBob meme when they ask him about
His name?
his name. When
What's
he's
his
doing
name? It's
the,
like
the
they're-
fine dining episode.
Yeah.
Where's the name?
I can't believe we forgot a name.
It's 2.5%. What do we do?
Oh, that's funny.
Oh man, but I don't know. I think it'd be more interesting to keep an eye on the school board stuff now, just knowing that they do stuff. I honestly didn't know they did anything.
We
Yeah.
should all go to the next school board meeting as Vermin Supreme. All grow our beards out, dye them white, and wear boots on our heads.
But I think it's important to shout out like Rosario and Berenberg also was pretty good on a lot of things.
Yeah.
When it comes to the school board and just knowing you're a politician and know where they stand for principle and knowing the people who didn't really
Yeah, I think this there's been many different opportunities to become red pilled, but I think if nothing else, the whole vaccine really red pilled a lot of people in the fact that it shed some light on how important knowing who the hell is running your school district and who's running all these different agencies within your local government, how important that actually is.
Yeah, it's kind of like when everybody got that awake or when figured out when the governors started enacting stay-at-home mandates. They were
Like, holy shit, governors have that power?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
So now everybody's like, oh shit, my school board can make my child have to be forcibly wear a mask even though he's crying
Yeah.
not to
like,
wear
yeah,
it.
and guess what? You voted for him, you dumbass.
Yeah. And your money pays for their what is it?
Their Land Rover.
Yeah, Land
Range
Rovers.
Rover.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of them out there. Did you guys see that one, the lady on the airline recently?
Yeah.
She had like a 2-year-old or something like that.
They didn't even warn her or anything.
Yeah, and they like kicked her off.
Did they eat the baby out of the plane midair?
They aborted the baby on the plane.
Late term abortion.
Yeah.
They just cut his legs,
think-
his arms off, and
As long as they're not around Texas, right?
No, I think they were flying over California, so it was legal.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just yeet it out the
Yeah,
window.
he just dived 500 miles down,
Yeah.
500 feet down, so he's like within airspace.
Yeah. And then they drop the masks out of the ceiling. They're like, "We're gonna depressurize the cabin. Just be prepared."
Oh man.
Next thing you know, a door's open and a baby's getting tossed out of it.
Jeez.
Sorry, he refused to wear his mask, and then everyone starts cheering.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, fuck that kid.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah.
That kid would look way cooler if he was wearing a cape, though.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, the kid
far.
was like, I don't know. It was fucking gnarly to watch these people get thrown
He's
off
like
a plane.
maybe 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, just a typical 2-year-old. You put a fucking like suffocating piece of fabric on their face.
Yeah.
They don't
yeah,
care
you,
for it.
I mean, how, like,
Doesn't have a nipple. I don't want it on my face.
yeah, are you being
Right.
realistic and expecting a
Some things
2-year-old
never
to wear a
change.
mask? I mean,
There's
that'd be like trying to get Reagan to wear a mask, or Kennedy to wear a mask.
Yeah, there's nothing realistic about that.
Nothing.
And if you're the kind of person that says just get your kid under control and all of those,
You
stupid
obviously don't have
comments-
kids.
Well, that's the other point.
Yeah.
That or
Whenever you just said Reagan and Kennedy, I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about presidents.
yeah,
I just realized they named him after.
yeah,
presidents.
our nieces are named after presidents. Yeah, so that's a problem. But
President Abigail.
Yeah. Soon,
I
2032.
was like picturing JFK wearing a mask. It's like, that's not going to save you, bud.
yeah.
yeah, that's an entirely unrealistic thing.
So unrealistic.
So
Yeah.
I don't want to get that subject too long, but so the mom was sitting on the plane. Was she wearing a mask?
yes.
Yeah.
And then the kid just wouldn't wear a mask.
Yeah, and she had a mask. Like, she was trying
tried,
to
yeah.
put the mask on
And
the kid, but this is not
The
happening.
airline was just like, we can't fly you with this unmasked child because it's going to kill us all.
They kicked her off.
Yeah, she
They
was
brought-
like interviewed after the fact. She's like, the guy recording. It was kind of unclear who that guy was, like why
Yeah.
he was recording.
I almost got the feeling that the guy recording was like a fucking Gestapo asshole.
Right, that's
Like,
exactly
he was
what I
like-
thought. Like
he's
he was
like-
like,
he's
a hall
Look
monitor.
at this fucking child.
Yeah,
with
so
no mask on.
So he's videotaping. The kid is clearly already upset about something. Kid's like screaming and shit. And then, one of the stewardess come over the intercom and they're like, sorry, we're dealing with a uncooperative passenger. And then, yeah, but the thing is, the woman was like, they never said shit to me. They were like sitting on the runway waiting to pull out of the gate.
And there's waiting for her to put a mask on her kid.
And then like 3 cops come on and tell the woman like, hey, you and your kid need to get off. And she's like,
That's
what?
insane. And also, you could tell she paid for the whole row too, because there was no one sitting.
Yeah,
next to
it was
her.
just her and her kid.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
It's ridiculous that they did that, but I'm not going to lie. If I was on that plane, I'd be one of those people clapping. Because fuck
Listen-
kids on planes.
Listen, yeah,
Well, I was just
They
joking.
should
Nobody
just-
really clapped.
they should kick any kid that's crying off the plane
Yeah.
like immediately.
I would prefer to wait, like we talked about before, wait until the plane is, peak cruising
Yeah,
altitude
give 'em
and
a-
then throw them out.
Maybe
yeah.
give him a parachute. Give him a quick rundown real quick before you throw him out.
That's what they need to build some sort of airlock in these planes, so they can like, you know what I mean. So you don't have to depressurize
Yeah,
the cabin.
it's like in the first Avengers
be
movie. They
unsafe for
put
everyone
Thor
else.
in that thing and they drop it.
That's exactly what they need to do with kids.
Yep.
Yeah,
Interesting ideas here on Politics on the Rocks.
I'm just saying, kids shouldn't be happy.
it's a good airline. It's a little thing I've been working on.
Yeah, United, get on it.
Try the start our own airline. Politics on the Rocks airline.
Yeah,
Politics on the airwaves.
Airline on the rocks.
skydiving baby airlines.
All our captains are drunk as fuck.
But they're open about it. They're not just hiding it.
Yeah, they get on with like a handle bottle of whiskey already halfway drunk.
Man.
Pilot's got his sunglasses on. It's like 10 p.m.
It's like the sun's really bright when you're closer to it.
Yeah.
He just reeks of alcohol. His shirt's halfway
He's like,
tucked
aren't these
in.
tinted? He's like, oh.
It's like, we're doing this trip upside down. Seatbelts on, everybody.
The fucking mosquito guy.
Inverted.
Your pilot for that plane.
Yeah,
The
Sky King from Alaska.
Oh.
I'm just a misunderstood guy, you know?
So, a couple of the small topics we could just kind of go through just from the past week. I think one of the one that's probably the biggest one is the surprise birthday party in Kabul.
Oh, yeah. There was a...
Surprise birthday party.
Yeah, the U.S. sent like a
present.
birthday bomb.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Confetti bomb.
It was a confetti bomb.
Birthday
yeah.
confetti bomb.
Oh man.
Would they kill 7 kids?
Yeah, 7 kids.
So you know it's
10
like
people.
So you know it's
7
like
kids.
14.
The guy that
Right.
they
Yeah, exactly.
the guy that they so apparently their intel was he drives a like a tan Toyota Corolla.
Oh fuck, that's me.
It was like, dude, that's literally like, and you like look at the comment section and a lot of like the veterans and stuff are like, bro, that's literally every other car in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
like that's all they fucking drive.
So who were they trying to kill?
The
It
U.S.
was a white Toyota.
They were
Corolla.
trying to kill the ISIS-K members that were responsible for the suicide bombing.
At the airport?
Yeah,
Well,
that happened on August
so-
22nd.
Yeah, so after the suicide bombing, there was actually a white Toyota Corolla that ended up parking in a neighborhood near where this bombing happened, and it had like improvised rockets like set up in the back, and the rockets shot towards the airport. So that happened like a day or two after.
So they were like, well, now we're just going to blow up any Toyota Camry we see.
So they actually had good
Even
intel.
if it has 7 kids on it.
Yeah, they actually had good intel. They knew that this white Toyota Corolla was an ISIS fighter, or an ISIS person, and he had it rigged up to shoot rockets and shit. But then they just shot a random white Toyota Corolla,
That's like
and it was like a fucking aid worker.
Well, and that was their excuse because even General McKenzie, he said he basically said, "Yeah, our bad, but we stand by our intelligence." So
Do you want to pull up that Rand Paul clip? We can play that real fast.
yeah. I'll have
So-
to do that on my phone here.
Chris was just saying, like, you know, they had the intel and it was good. It's just funny because
This is a good.
that's
yeah,
the
this is a good
government,
one.
how it works, even on local level. That's how when your local police get the intel of the thief was a African American wearing shorts and a shirt, and they fucking just start
yeah, they just
pulling
arrest
over
him.
every black guy they see. Like,
Yeah, and then it turns into fucking shootings on the side of the
yeah,
road. And
it's like
disasters.
American intel, and they just fucking go with it, dude. And they just prejudice all the way.
Yeah, instead of stop and frisk, it's bomb and fucking murder.
Apologize.
Yeah,
Bomb, sorry.
and it's crazy.
We have good
This
intel.
was when he was talking to Blinken, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, again, this story is terrible, right? We joke about it, but it's because we like to laugh. But and people wonder why there's people who hate America.
Exactly.
Like,
man.
you just killed 7 kids.
No, bro, it's because our freedom.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Tulsi,
yeah,
Tulsi got on that.
All right,
whole thing.
here we go.
The guy the Biden administration droned, was he an aid worker or an ISIS-K operative?
The administration is, of course, reviewing that strike.
Lord.
What a ridiculous answer.
He literally did
fumbled.
not expect that question.
Yeah.
He was like, like, dude, you didn't expect them to ask you.
Which is telling,
if
right?
you knew who the fuck you just blew
Yeah,
up.
like, what the fuck is this?
All right, let's finish it.
And I'm sure that a full assessment will be
So you
forthcoming.
don't know if it was an aid worker or an ISIS-K operative?
I can't speak to that, and I can't speak to that in this setting in any event.
So you don't know or won't tell us?
I don't know because we're reviewing it.
Well, see, you'd think you'd kind of know before you off somebody with a Predator drone, whether he's an aid worker or he's an ISIS case. See, the thing is this isn't just you. It's been going on for administration after administration.
Oh,
The
that's
Obama administration
That is
droned
amazing.
hundreds and hundreds of people. And the thing is there is blowback to that.
a good
I mean,
point.
I don't know if it's true, but I see these pictures of these beautiful children that were killed in the attack. If that's true, and not propaganda, if that's true, guess what? Maybe you created hundreds or thousands of new potential terrorists
There it is.
from bombing the wrong people. So you got to know who you. We can't sort of have an investigation after we kill people. We have an investigation before we kill people.
Jeez.
Hey, yeah, that's such a good point because
Wait, hold on.
that's such a good point because that's like when you see these interviews of Osama bin Laden years ago, that was literally basically exactly what he said. Why 9/11 happened? It's because of our involvement in the Middle East. It's and
Yeah,
and
because we have.
are we going to
bases-
change our what we do over there? No, of course not.
No, it's funny because I actually recently saw today Senator Lindsey Graham, who's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, horrible person.
Yeah, he might be the.
He said
the
in
most
an
cucked.
interview to the BBC that Americans are going to go back into Afghanistan because our absence there is going to lead to the rise of terrorism because the Taliban are going to harbor Al Qaeda and terrorist groups, and then he said the way he phrased it basically he was saying, the classic fucking bullshit about they hate us because of our way of life. They hate us because of our way of life. And that's just such fucking bullshit, man.
He may be one of the worst people to ever live.
Yeah, Lindsey Graham's such a
Yeah,
fucking
I mean,
piece of
he
shit.
is a horrible person.
Literally, listen to the fucking guy. Fucking Bin Laden told us what his problem was. His problem was U.S. bases in Saudi Arabia, which is the Muslim Holy Land, and the U.S. murdering innocent people in Iraq.
Not one sentence about religion or freedom or our freedom was ever spoken
Nope.
from Osama bin Laden's mouth about why they attacked the World Trade Centers.
Yeah.
Yep.
You gotta wonder, right? Like before the podcast, we were talking about how some of the most racist people out there are just mad because they think the people they don't like are supposed to be bad, but they really love them too much, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like kind of really homophobic people are really just gay. Do you think Lindsey Graham just jerks it to Osama bin Laden's picture every night?
Yeah, he's an Islamic terrorist.
He just fucking takes out his cock and he's just like, oh, fucking Osama, I wish I could have seen you.
Well, and that's
I wish it was that innocent, but you know that he's got.
You telling me
he
he
gets
wouldn't get
money
one
from?
in the
oh
butt?
my god, he's a huge
America?
war crony.
He's
You
a war.
kidding me?
He's a war crony. That's right.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Lindsey Graham can really suck off this cactus right here.
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
his asshole.
and my
Oh.
penis. Oh damn!
I don't know
Yeah.
if we've ever
That's a
talked
big
about
cactus.
it on the podcast, but we just have just to keep things interesting. We got a big ass cactus in the
It's
middle
so random
of the
and
table.
awkward.
Every time we reach over to grab a bottle of whiskey or something, you just get stabbed. By
Of
the cactus.
all the plants we could have put in the middle of a table with four drunk guys, we picked a cactus with
With
2-inch fucking needles on, inch and a half needles sticking out of it.
Cactus in Florida too.
yeah.
Oh man,
We got fucking
those are
orchids.
sharp too, aren't they?
Yeah.
oh
it's-
yeah, they're no joke, man.
It's a needle.
Yeah, those are. Wow,
They got you earlier, didn't it?
Yeah, I pricked my finger.
Yeah.
you're
Well,
vaccinated now, bro. It's the vaccine.
This is the vax plant,
the
right?
vaccine cactus.
It's just there to remind us that we're alive. You know,
Right.
You
Yeah.
just hit that thing. You're like, okay,
Just remember the small things.
yep.
The pain.
But
Be careful what you're grabbing for. You know.
I did want to mention that clip we played of Rand Paul is fucking amazing, and he's been doing a lot of awesome.
oh,
shit.
dude, he's been on point.
But
Oh yeah, Rand has been on point.
I
this
do
year.
want to say,
how can you blame him though? Look who his dad is. You know?
Yeah, no, but we do
Yeah, but in the past he hasn't been on like he
No,
is
no, no.
now.
You're
But
right. You're
I
right.
think he changed his strategy.
He did.
No, I wanted to bring that up because we've been talking past couple episodes, and maybe next episode we might even bring it up about getting too lost in the sauce of the libertarian mindset, and I think that kind of happened with Rand because obviously he's a libertarian at heart. He just is on the Republican ballot because it's easier to get voted in, and people gave him a ton of shit when he was talking to Trump a lot, and he was actually voting for some of the shit Trump was doing, even if it wasn't fully what we wanted, right? And people were like, "Well, fuck this, Rand Paul, he's just a rhino," but he was just he can't do exactly what he wants, but he's trying to get done small things and trying to
Small
implement-
wins.
and that's again now we can see him in these what are they Congress meetings
Yeah.
or whatever hearings
Senate hearings.
that you know
He's a congressman, right?
yeah, he's a congressman. That he's
He's a senator. Yeah.
yeah, whatever they are, House of Representatives, right? And yeah, that he's a great guy. But again, I think that's one place again we can get lost in the sauce is when he's not, you know, sucking the libertarian cock all the time. And people are like, "Oh, fuck this guy."
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
No.
and I think he I think one of his strategies, like when Trump was in office, was he was trying to just gain some trust from Trump so that he could maybe give him more advice on other things.
So he's playing 3D chess.
Yeah, he's playing 10D chess. Trump was playing 7D chess.
Yeah, with the bump stock band.
But like
that might be a good episode. We talk about some executive orders.
Yeah, maybe next episode.
We should do that next episode.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. But yeah, I don't know. I think he got into Trump's ear by kind of like gaining his trust and backing him on a couple of things that maybe weren't perfect, but were better than, you know,
It's
it was
like
better
one of
off
those-
happening than not happening.
It's like one of those things that like innately we hate politics in the way that it works, but on some level it has to be played like a game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're saying, like you have to sort of befriend Orange Man to influence some of, you know what I'm saying, his
Right.
policies, and it's like, you know, we hate that because it seems so ingenuine and
Yeah.
nonsense. But there's a game that has to be played in order for us to
Yeah, that's the
Win
real
out.
world we live in.
exactly.
The real world we live in isn't a fucking libertarian utopia.
It's not at all. Very far from it, right?
Too bad, right?
But I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to. Oh, excuse! I just farted in my mouth. I don't. Wanna, but I don't want
Mendo.
to repeat myself and ourselves in the times we bring up these sort of ridiculous war crimes that we commit. You know, by blowing
over
up.
and over and
Yeah,
over
and over again. And we kind of alluded to it quickly, but I just it's super important for us to put ourselves in the position of somebody who family gets blown up in a car doing nothing,
Daily life.
doing daily
Yeah,
life.
it's so easy to remove ourselves from that.
It is. Well, yeah, because we just
Because
don't listen to it.
Yeah, and that not only that, I feel like you know, Americans, and maybe this is not specific to America, but I feel like we have kind of dehumanized a lot of people in the Middle East. Just
For sure,
because-
man. We have.
Yeah, just because it's you know, it's easy to associate the Middle East with terrorism, and so you know, just by default, and you know,
And
excuse
you know,
me, a lot of it is
unfortunately-
looking at like how they live. Also, we're like, wow, these people are like barely human. So when you know, when the U.S. government comes out and says, yeah, we accidentally blew up 10 people that weren't terrorists or had any terrorist affiliations, we're just kind of like, oh, well, fuck, that, you know, that kind of sucks, but, you know, whatever. They're like, not really, you know.
Yeah.
It's easy for us to dehumanize them, so it's like, you know, just put yourself in that position. Imagine, you know, you and 9 of your close friends or family members just getting blown up simply based on the fact that you were driving the same car as, you know, some guy who, you know, went and robbed a fucking bank or some shit. Like, it's no different.
Yeah, and that is how terrorists are created.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do if some guy kills your entire family? What, like,
Yeah, you turn into the Punisher.
exactly.
Yeah, you draw a skull on your.
Especially when there's an entire, you know, now your company is, or now your country is occupied by people with very similar values that want to, you know, attack America based on what we've done over there. It's like so easy for you to co-opt into that and just be like,
Bro, you
yeah, let's
wear
go fuck those people up.
you wear a trench coat and you draw a giant skull on your hot rod and you just start killing people. Yeah, that's what you do.
that's
That's the
it.
Punisher.
I just want to put something on the record before it before it actually happens, because it's definitely going to happen. So I've been kind of seeing articles lately about, I mean, basically just, well, first of all, we know how much the Taliban just like totally embarrassed the U.S. government and made them look like fucking preschoolers. And then I've been seeing a lot of articles about ISIS and how they're ramping up their attacks against the Taliban in Afghanistan. And I'm just calling it right now. Within the next year or two, the U.S. is somehow some way going to be aiding ISIS against the Taliban in Afghanistan.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I can see that.
But is it ISIS-K or just ISIS?
ISIS-K, yeah.
So now, what is? I'll
Whether
be
it's
honest.
funding, or maybe they'll create a whole new fucking CIA funded group and then bring the ISIS-K guys into it so they can avoid.
What
the
now?
name.
What is ISIS-K
But-
and how is that different from?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
So ISIS, they all
Kabul faction.
yeah, it's not Kabul, it's
It's another tribe or some shit.
Is it
It's
Cu-
just
is it Cucks?
it's a regional thing.
Is it Cucks
So
okay?
it's ISIS just like any of the other ISIS.
So it's just
places.
like the the Islamic State Khorasan.
Khorasan, yeah. So
Khorasan.
that's it's like a region.
Coruscant?
So it's like a chapter, like the Hell's Angels.
So they're
they
like
have
in a frat.
chapters.
They're like in
Yeah.
a frat,
Nice.
basically.
Cool.
An ISIS frat.
But so they all what makes ISIS ISIS is that they all pledge allegiance to al-Baghdadi, who's like
Right.
he's the al-Big Daddy.
I'm Big Daddy.
Al Baghdadi.
He definitely did that on purpose.
So yeah, they're all like in allegiance to him. Like they all.
And
serve him.
who that was who we blew up in Iran, right? No, who was that?
I'll
look it up.
that was
Couple
no,
kids, I
that
think.
was a Shia guy. Because ISIS is Sunni.
Soleimani.
Soleimani, yeah,
Who? Yeah.
That was Trump, right? Trump killed Soleimani, right, last year?
yeah,
Yeah.
Fucking
Just
iced him.
blew him to fuck. Yeah, just basically did the gave him
Assassinated.
gave him the old aid worker treatment.
Yeah.
$25 million bounty.
Which is crazy on itself.
Yeah. We do the same thing to
Dude.
terrorists that we do to
Now
innocent
wait,
people.
who's the guy that the French special forces just took out? Didn't they just kill somebody with a huge bounty on their head? One of the big
yeah,
ISIS.
I think that was in Africa.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh shit, nice.
I think it was in North Africa because the French are like really heavily involved there. Or it might have been in Syria, but I'm pretty sure it was in North Africa.
Man, I don't want to be that guy, but they all look the same, bro. All these like Islamic extremists.
No,
and-
it's not like...
They probably say the same shit about
Yeah, they
us.
definitely say the same shit
Oh
about us.
yeah, no, I know, but I mean, I say that, but it's just a bunch of Middle Eastern guys with beards. It's like
Yeah.
that's why they look the same.
It's a bunch
obviously.
of white guys with fucking brown hair.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, this was 4 days ago. Yeah, France announced overnight. Blah blah blah. Neutralized France.
Who's responsible for an ambush on Green Berets?
Yeah,
Yeah.
5 million reward.
But
Al Baghdadi only has a $25 million bounty on his head. I feel like that's pretty low for being
Yeah.
like
Those low numbers, Al
If I was
Baghdadi.
him, I'd be kind of pissed about
Gotta,
that.
gotta
Yeah,
put
I'd be
those
like, what the
numbers up.
fuck, dude? All this shit I've done, I'm only worth 25 mil.
Oh, man.
How about them riding the little paddle boards with RPGs?
Oh, that was fucking amazing.
That was so funny.
Every time every time I see these guys, I'm like, man, they're just kids having fun, dude.
Yeah.
Like they took over a country and now they're just having fun, bro. Just
And
let them
it's
have
the
some
truth.
fun.
It's like, it literally, like Chris just said, if you got like a lot of frat bros who are like are against like something going over in the college, just took the college over. They're like, fuck, what do we do now?
what? Weren't they like duck boats, like paddle boats?
Yeah, they were like tourist boats.
Swan, like
yeah,
shit
like the
swans.
little swan like cycle boats.
Oh,
That's
geez.
what they were. They
I
were
just love that always that one guy has an RPG. Like he doesn't fucking leave house without
like,
it.
hey, Abdul, come on this. Abdul, that's not. Is that? Yeah, that's it. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know.
and he's like, I'm gonna bring my fucking RPG. It'll be so cool for the picture.
Like such a unnecessary.
I mean, I
weapon.
can't say I wouldn't bring an RPG on a paddleboard.
It's
right?
gotta get
Like,
annoying after a while, though, right?
I
it's
can't
kinda,
imagine
like,
they're not light.
cumbersome.
Is there even a safety on that thing?
Yeah, and also you're kind of just always kind of risking it. You know, you're like I could blow this whole bitch up. Like
Yeah, dude, then an RPG-7 unloaded weighs 14 and a half pounds.
holy fuck.
Holy fuck, the rocket alone weighs 3.5 pounds.
That's a big boom.
That's why it's like 20 pounds you're taking on this thing. That's I mean,
Over
you hold a
time.
Dude,
20-pound dumbbell,
listen,
it's not that
listen.
heavy, but...
Listen to me. He did it for the gram. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he did.
well, like I said, bro,
Killed it.
I can't say I wouldn't have done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen so in Lebanon? They've been kind of honestly. Now I'm questioning myself. It's either Libya or Lebanon, and I'm just retarded. I can't figure out which one it was. But the
Learning
US,
impaired.
Yeah, yes. the U.S. has been blockading any like oil shipments to Libya or Lebanon, whichever one. I'm trying to figure the fuck out. And Iran decided to sell oil to them, and they like brought in this fucking oil shipment, and there was people out in the streets just shooting RPGs like into the fucking air.
I saw that.
Straight into the air. And I was surprised there was only one photo of like a house that the roof just got like caved in because an RPG came down on it.
I feel like it's worth mentioning that you can get an RPG launcher anywhere from $500 to $2,000, and the rockets only cost $100 to $500.
Damn.
Fucking import laws, dude. It's ridiculous. I should be able to buy an RPG at a vending machine.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh.
Oh man.
Just fucking RPG and a bottle of chicken cock.
Just sitting on your front porch, just waving to your neighbors.
All right, but let's be honest. If all four of us had RPGs with rockets, we would definitely be shooting them in the air by the end of the podcast,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, like...
I would find the most abandoned building I could find, just wreck that thing.
Random building explodes in Vera Beach. And
Yeah.
Boogie's like running away with a bottle of chicken cock. It's like,
But oh man,
Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here.
did you guys look into that monoclonal antibody thing that was going on?
Yeah, they're like limiting the supply to mostly southern states, it seems.
No, maybe. But what I read was, Grandpa Biden there, the federal government bought up all the doses,
Yeah, and they're like,
and so they're redistributing it as they see fit.
I know Alabama, like they've been kind of depending on that, and the federal government, and along with a lot of idiots, have been just kind of like saying, "Oh, it's their own damn fault because they don't get vaccinated and all this shit." Well, guess what? There's also another thing that's very common in Alabama, and that's called obesity. So that probably is factoring in too. But anyways, they've been using the monoclonal.
I thought you were going to
therapies.
say incest, bro. I'll be honest with you.
Well, yeah, that too.
You never know with Alabama. It goes two ways.
Florida actually has a higher rate of incest, but we
Not
don't have to talk
surprised.
about
That panhandle game.
that's
but
the that's the
panhandle
northern
game.
Right, yeah. It's basically South Alabama.
Yeah. But yeah, so they have like limited the supply of this stuff to it's a lower number than what like Alabama was using typically, like in a month. Like
Yeah.
they're not gonna get the supply that they need.
Well, obviously, Daddy D is a huge fan of that. That's the antibody treatment, and
Yeah.
his people or him. He stated that they're going to see a 50% decrease now
Yeah.
because what happened was the federal government just went up and like bought all the contracts for it because they have so much money.
It's so much of
Yeah.
your money.
And guess how much it was per dose?
I don't even want to know.
2,100.
Oh my god.
And they bought up. Oh man, I have it right
I bet
here.
you it's not worth like fucking
$50.
yeah, I bet you it's not worth like 0.25% of that.
Oh my god, that hurts.
God.
Thank the U.S. Fed for that.
Yeah.
But it is interesting to see like Biden following DeSantis' lead here. That can't be good for him in like the next election.
Like
Like,
it's kind of ridiculous. They're like sabotaging, like straight up just sabotaging,
yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean,
They-
like life and death scenarios.
yeah,
Yeah.
they bought 1.4 million doses.
Holy shit.
So they pretty much bought the whole supply.
So do the math. 1.4 million times 2,000. That's
1.4 million
3.5
lives
trillion?
they just killed. They
Yeah.
just killed 1.4 million people.
Yeah, and like it. Yeah,
I'm being dramatic,
but still, no.
Well,
Like,
but no, I mean, I feel like it's fair to be dramatic, right? That's what the other side's doing, no?
yeah, exactly.
but his reasoning on a quote I saw was, that 70% of the, or it might have been a little bit lower percentage of the treatment was going to like 7 states. So of course, our federal government loves to redistribute.
Right.
So they saw that like, oh fuck, that can't happen. We got to bring it to equally amount. So
yeah.
every
So
state has some people dying.
and then they're gonna send them to states that don't use them, and they're gonna go to waste.
Yeah, like the ventilators.
fucking stupid.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Andrew Cuomo. I need 40,000 ventilators.
Yeah.
Stat.
And I need a fucking barge ship that was turned into a
Yeah.
hospital.
Yeah, I need
just
a
to
barge
sit
ship
in
that
Manhattan.
I'm not gonna fucking use.
Yeah.
And
I'm
All for
gonna
optics.
bitch about hospitals not having any room, but I know I'm not gonna use that Trump ship.
meanwhile, he's killing everybody with ventilators.
Yeah,
Yeah, killing
And-
everyone with ventilators and killing. He was like the true grandpa murderer.
Fucking Grim Reaper.
Yeah, that's him.
And he was doing that, and Trump was forcing companies to make ventilators.
So wait, question. He resigned.
Yeah.
So who's the new governor of New York? Or
It's a lady, right?
She was like the attorney general. No,
I don't
She
remember.
was some position. She like automatically assumed position after he.
Oh, it was like one of those
she's
situations.
she's a Democrat. She's just as
Kathy
bad.
Hochul.
She's just as bad as him.
Mama Kathy.
She's
Yeah,
probably,
she also looks like she eats people. So,
Yeah, no, she. 100%
She probably was
does.
in the nursing homes eating the dead bodies.
bro, look at
Yeah.
them teeth on her, son.
I love when you see like a politician.
She's got some flesh gnawing teeth, bro.
I love when you see someone that like they have so much makeup like on their face that they look like 20 years younger on their face compared to their neck.
Yeah. It's like a
like,
mask.
like the neck just totally gives it away.
But you know
her
what? That's
face,
the
like-
beauty of like high definition, like everything now. Because like
Yeah.
I can zoom in on this lady and,
And see the
like,
Oh
pores.
my god, I can see the
yikes.
wrinkles of her makeup.
Yeah, it looks like her eyelids are made of nutsack skin.
Oh,
Someone call this
She looks like a
scrotum.
chipmunk with fucking
Yeah.
nut sacks for eyes.
Yeesh,
makes me hungry.
Look kind of like Smeagol with a wig. For
bro,
kids.
she straight up looks like a beaver.
Would you say Smeagol with a wig?
Oh look, she's got like more chin hair than I do. That's pretty impressive.
We need to get that TV. I want to see.
She's got those developed jaw muscles. Like she definitely eats human flesh.
Yeah, she's one of them lizard people. I bet.
Let's just do the rest of this podcast shitting on this lady's appearance.
We just fucking just body shame her.
Well, it won't be long before she makes some really bad decisions as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Ain't
the
no
bar
doubt.
set pretty low, so you don't have to do that much,
That's also very true.
right? Like, all right,
Well, yeah. I mean, who do you have to compare to? A guy who
killed.
killed a bunch of old people and like raped a bunch of or sexually assaulted a bunch of women.
Yeah,
It's not that big of shoes to fill.
But I'm just Italian.
Yeah, right. Okay.
a little
Not a
gabagoo,
pervert.
a little gabafeel.
I am Italian, and I can promise you, I do not do that.
That's
I
not
don't know,
right.
he's done it to me a few times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
it.
grab my
Oh,
ass.
all
all the time.
right, relax, guys. You're supposed to be, on my side in this.
Oh man.
Yeah, she's terrible. I need to.
All right, so
I'm gonna have
speaking of
nightmares
New
looking
York,
at this woman,
Nicki
Jesus.
Minaj, huh?
Stop looking at her. You're not gonna be able to sleep,
dude.
bro.
I'm fucking. I'm already like I close my eyes
Speaking
and I
of New
see her.
York,
Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, dude. Based Nicki
Frickin-
Minaj. I like that meme. It's like who had based Nicki Minaj
Yeah,
in
it's
September?
Can we change the song from J-Lo? What's that? Start from the bottom, now I'm at the top. That's like Nicki Minaj.
I don't know, bro.
That is
I don't-
definitely
I don't
Nicki
know that.
Minaj.
Like
I
J-Lo,
don't know
like
that
come on,
stuff.
J-Lo.
isn't that
you were
Drake?
no, he might have stolen it.
Oh yeah, probably.
But J-Lo's song is like I was
oh,
in
no,
the-
I'm still Jenny from the block.
Jenny from the block.
Yeah.
Freaking Nicki Minaj was the whore on the block.
Great, literally.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj was?
Yeah, she was a
I
stripper.
don't know anything about her.
She was a stripper in New York.
Oh, nice.
She was the hooker.
well, so was
drug-
AOC, right?
She
Yeah,
was the hooker that drugged people and robbed them. Right?
Yeah.
No. That was Cardi B, I think.
No, that's Nicki Minaj.
Oh wait, no, you're
No,
right. That, was Cardi B.
Yeah, that was Cardi B. I mean, I
Oh.
don't doubt that Nicki Minaj did that,
Wait,
but
oh my
that was
God.
Cardi
Dude,
B who came
holy
out and said
fuck.
that.
Oh,
I just realized that for the past like 3 weeks, I've been conflating Cardi B and Nicki Minaj into a single person.
and you know what's funny? They hate each other.
They're
they
the
do.
same person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll
Wait, so
admit
Cardi
Nicki
B
Minaj is definitely
wait.
better than Cardi B.
But Cardi B's no joke, dude. She'll kill a fool.
But Nicki Minaj.
No, I'm more afraid. Well, I mean, I'm not afraid of either of them, but I would be more afraid of Nicki Minaj. I think,
Really?
than Cardi.
Because Cardi B's no joke, bro.
I mean, she would drug you. How do you drug somebody if you're not going to drink? Like, I'm not going to drink anything and she gives me. So how is she going to drug me?
But Nicki was a prostitute, right? Or a stripper, I should say.
Probably.
We got to get some deets, bro.
yeah,
Yeah.
all right, Jamie,
N-
I'm on it.
Just
Not
type in,
that-
was Nicki Minaj a
Again, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great profession.
Yeah, but don't expect me to respect you.
I mean, I'll respect it. It's fine. But
No, I will not.
no, but seriously, like she went from that to now she's like worth almost $100 million.
Yeah.
What is her
Rags to
salary? Like,
riches.
it's a lot, man.
Yeah, she was a stripper.
Okay. All right. Good. Well, that's
Expected.
solves the mystery there.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's-
Anyways, let's give us the rundown on why we're talking about Nicki Minaj.
I think
So-
she drone bombed some kids in Syria, right?
Oh, I think
Her
we're mixing stories.
Her long ass fingernails accidentally hit the bomb button. She meant
Oh
to.
my God.
She meant to just fly over.
That happens, bro.
Yeah.
No, she apparently she has a cousin in Trinidad that she had. You saw that meme?
Yeah.
She I'm scrolling through her
The
Instagram right
South
now.
Park
so
nuts in the wheelbarrow.
Oh, I
meme.
love it.
yeah, so she referenced her cousin in Trinidad who took the vaccine and his balls swelled up. He got swollen balls from the vaccine.
Supposedly.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
know naturally the left wing media came down on her hard, and She basically
They came down on her because she was vocal about it. And
she was against the narrative, right?
right.
And it's not even the fact she was against it. She was more just like,
Well,
just
yeah,
talking.
that's the thing.
She was just like, hey, this happened. Like, I was told this happened. They're like, how fucking dare
is
you?
she pregnant right now, or does she want to get pregnant?
She was.
She was pregnant.
pregnant.
Okay,
She just
so-
had a kid.
Yeah, so something happened where she came out in the discussion and said, I was pregnant, so I didn't feel like the vaccine was the right thing for me at the time.
Yeah.
And then went on to say how she had this cousin in Trinidad whose balls swelled up because of the vaccine.
And then to add on to that, apparently he became impotent after that, and then
Right,
his
yes.
his wedding got called off.
Right, yep.
But I'm kind of thinking this guy just got the clap, and that's why his wedding got called.
Do your
off.
balls
But I
swell
don't
up?
know, I'm just that's like a
Trademark of it?
that's like something that happens when you get the clap, or I think
damn.
gonorrhea too.
His like fiance.
Hey, well, boys, if your balls swell up, you might want to go get them
his
checked.
fiance's like, what the
blame
fuck
on the
happened? He's
vaccine.
like, it was the vaccine. I fucking swear.
The vaccine fucked my nuts up.
So beside the point that's most likely what happened in this
Yeah,
situation.
probably.
She got bamboozled by the left for being against the narrative.
Yeah.
And it opens up this whole conversation about people who are famous going against the narrative and what that causes, right?
Well, yeah, just again, I think any rational person can say she wasn't even against it. She was just talking, right? Just having a discussion, like, hey, this happened. I probably will get vaccinated when I go on tour because I'll need to, but I'm not going to for these, photo shoots or whatever, the Met Gala. And like Cameron, you just said, yeah. And then as soon as that happened, then a fucking left side of the media and left Twitter was just like, fuck you, you don't know anything, you're gonna kill people, stay in your lane, like, all these things that people shit on when the right people do it.
Yeah, stay in your lane, bro. That's all they do.
Yeah. Good Lord. My favorite meme that came out of it was the Norm Macdonald meme. R.I.P. to Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
Oh, what a
Fucking
legend.
legend. But it was a Norm Macdonald meme, and it was like, him back when he was doing the Saturday Night Live Daily Report or whatever the hell it's called. And it was just like Nicki Minaj gets banned from Twitter for saying that the Democratic Party doesn't accept black people unless they agree with them.
Yeah, it's a good point.
And then he goes, and Twitter says they will unlock her account as soon as she agrees with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. I saw that.
Oh shit, her little kid's kind of cute. Cute little kid. Anyway,
Yeah, good to know.
Easy to be cute with $1 million.
yeah.
Stupid little kid.
But no, yeah, it's just, again, this nothing like crazy. Like, again, there's people on the right and people even like in some liberty groups who are like, yeah, she's one of us now, she's got it. And it's
Yeah.
like, that's not even the point, right?
That's not the point.
the point
And
is,
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, the point is, she was having a discussion or just like venting thoughts out. She wasn't even saying don't get vaccinated. And you see one political side of media just fucking shit on her for no reason when they, would prop her up if she was like, vote for Biden, right?
Right.
So
Or get the vaccine.
Or get the vaccine, exactly. So it just shows like this, again, everything we come back to is hypocritical stance they take. They don't really give a shit she's black, she's a woman. It's like if you're not toting our line, then you're fucking dog meat and we're going to feed you to the wolves.
I mean, another perfect example is Larry Elder, right? With the whole recall election in California. I mean, they were like
Dude, he's
literally attacking him.
No, he's not black. He's a white supremacist.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
a
My
Nazi.
bad.
Yeah.
That's how you can tell that they're just totally insane.
Yeah.
Like, these people are
there's
just-
no standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you call
Larry
a
Elder.
black man a white supremacist? Like, how can you do that?
Well, I mean,
Have
me
you
and
never
Chris were
seen that
talking
Dave
on the...
Chappelle skit?
Oh my
True
god.
that.
Yeah.
He might be blind.
No, but it's like, something that me and Chris were talking about on the way here. And it's gone.
Oh, sorry
Yeah.
for cutting you off.
Yeah, no, it's all
What
good.
were we
I just
talking
don't-
about? We talked about a lot of dumb shit.
Yeah, no,
Wait, what happened?
what?
What's
Oh, no, I just lost my train of
Oh,
thought.
okay.
I can't remember what Chris mentioned.
And the
on
whole
way here.
recording is
Yeah.
gone.
The laptop is on fire. Thank you,
And we
folks.
recorded 2 hours and it's gone.
And then we got chicken cock all over our
Yeah,
board.
and now it's gone.
Let's go. We gotta open up another bottle, boys.
Restart.
I'm not
shit,
gonna
I
lie.
could
The
barely
more
even
we
say
drink that, the better it is.
Yeah.
and it's not just because we're getting drunk. It's actually. Very
I'm not gonna
good.
lie. That
It's like-
chicken cock is tasty.
It is.
It's 30% we're getting drunk and 7% it's a really good whiskey.
I've never been drunk in my life.
The unfortunate sad part about this, the more we do, that
It's
less
so
drunk
hard
we
now.
get
I can't. Yeah, like I don't even know what drunk is anymore, man.
I don't know. I think the Nicki Minaj thing, again, you could probably hear it from a ton of people. It's just, again, it just shows the true face. You could say the left, which is true, but the right does the same thing. So,
yeah, but in this part, it's the left.
No, yeah. So again, point out who it is, but I like to always remember that both sides.
Yeah,
do it.
I think it's worth noting, and maybe I'll bring this up in the next episode we do. But it's interesting to see, all last year, specifically speaking with the George Floyd stuff, all the Republicans to come out and say, these people in Hollywood need to shut the fuck up. They don't know what they're talking about. Blah 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 blah. And now Nicki Minaj comes out, and again, like you were saying, Bookie, she's not even really against the vaccine. She literally was just saying, this is why I haven't gotten it. I probably will get it. This is what happened to my cousin. And now all the Republicans are on her dick, right? And that just goes back to, the same thing the left does. It's like, we only like you if your views line up with ours.
Yeah, and I'm not. Yeah, I think it's a silly attempt from the right to be like, oh, she's one of us. She's one of like to almost to like a recruiter, and it's like, no, she's not. She's just simply being
just
reasonable.
agrees with you on this one point.
Yeah, and it's like she just has a counter opinion. It's like,
Yeah.
what is it? It's like,
And
what are you
Nick,
doing?
I don't think you did bring that up on the last episode because we lost the whole Nicki Minaj part. Because
The next episode, you mean?
Yeah.
the next episode.
Yeah.
But
We will probably lose that bit of recording in next week, right?
probably it's just gonna happen. We can see the future.
We got a Star Wars episode going
Yeah,
on.
something's gonna go on with the
But-
recording. It's gonna fuck up.
It's just funny that, and again, I think it's easy because people who are into politics all the time, and unfortunately, that might be us soon. It's just you think like everybody's just like, oh, like everything you say is political, and everything you say has a political backing, and it aligns you to some stance. Like I hope, and I feel like more libertarian people are less like that. Obviously, there are some, and probably a lot more than I want to admit, who get like that as well. But she's just a person, right? She has opinions on many things. Some of them probably lean more to the left, some probably lean more to the right.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those opinions that the left don't like. She had that, I think it was Nicki Minaj, when she got, like, maybe a year or two after she got really rich, she's like, where the fuck are my taxes going? Because they just took a shit ton of money from me. Yeah. She's like, I want a receipt. And that was hilarious. Because it's true.
Mm-hmm.
She said that?
Yeah.
Oh, good for her.
Again, it's just one of those things where, again, she has opinions on multiple things. And, sometimes you're going to agree with it, sometimes you're not.
Yeah,
That's humanity.
She says
Based
what she
Nicki
wants.
Minaj.
That's
Good
what
for
she
her.
does, and she makes a shit ton of money doing it,
Yeah.
which is awesome. Shake that wet ass.
Yeah,
That's not even her. You know that,
No,
right?
that's
I know.
Cardi B. Right?
Oh.
But
dude. I know that's
And
dude.
some
I've
other
been
dumb
fucking
bitch.
conflating them all week. I was thinking about whenever Cardi B was like coronavirus, like at the very beginning.
Coronavirus.
And I was like, oh, that's funny that Nicki Minaj went from that to like this now. That's like totally fucking wrong person.
just to like save our asses, they kind of came up around the same time, right?
And they
Yeah.
are literally quite the same thing.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
like Cardi
That's-
B
that's
is
racist.
the Spanish. Oh no, I'm saying like I'm talking as far as like music. And, no. Oh, jeez.
No, they're both. Yes, they're both.
I mean, they do.
They're both ratchet ass rappers. Yeah.
Yeah,
that
but
were strippers.
one is
and
just happens to be like a Spanish descent, right?
I don't. You're asking the
idea.
wrong.
I don't
fucking
assume
person.
descent. Kevin.
One has a very wet pussy apparently
yes.
that you
Which-
need a bucket and a mop for.
Some Jewish spokespeople may
And the
say
other
need-
one's got truffle butter.
Yeah, which apparently has something to do with the asshole. So I'm not really sure.
Jeez.
She must have a very greasy ass. That's what I get out of it. I
Don't
mean,
put. Maybe you don't have to put lube in it.
or maybe she
That's
wants
convenient.
you to put butter in her ass. I don't know.
That
I'm
was
not-
me after
Something.
after 95% humidity, working all day outside.
All I know is truffle butter is expensive. All right.
It
It
is.
true.
It's very expensive.
anything with truffle. You can. Put
I make
truffle
some
on-
really good wings with utilizing butter and truffle. So one might say that I have
Truffle.
good
ass.
truffle butter.
Oh.
Some would say.
Yeah. I can't say I have a wet ass pussy, but
Well,
truffle butter is something I am.
You actually could say that, and I would believe you.
I have a wet ass bussy.
But, oh,
Oh my god.
got that boost.
Yes. Man. Didn't we have something else we wanted to talk about?
No, we already went over that one.
Something
a couple like
bugging them up.
small things. So just the Vero Beach county commission race is going to start soon. Again, it lines up exactly with the city council one. So there's people who will be starting to, if not, they've already signed up to be in the race. I think Daryl Laurel is part of that, which is a big name around here.
The lady from the library, she's in there.
You like her?
Yeah.
You like her?
I asked her one question,
Yeah.
she answered correctly. So I'm
Chris fully sponsors that woman.
Yeah, I don't remember her name.
What, so that's county commissioner?
Commissioners, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like the county council, as far as I know.
Oh, what
okay.
about the fucking border in Texas?
The border.
Hey, it's not Florida. I don't care.
Good point.
Florida Georgia line.
Dude,
Florida Texas line.
So, again, just to finish that thought real fast. Yeah, we probably will talk about the county commissioner race in a soon-to-be episode, but that's just going to be happening soon. And then another real quick Vero Beach thing. The charter committee of the Vero Beach City Council, so it's one of their many committees they have, wants to increase mayor pay and city council pay, and then also extend the city council term from 2 to 4 years. So, that's that. I don't think it's a huge topic. It's just, again, something to bring up that people may be interested to know. But yeah, the border. That fucking picture of the cowboy rounding up some...
Those Haitian
Dude, that was
Where was
wild.
that?
I'm not gonna lie, I was like, fuck, man, I need to get a horse.
So that was a Haitian. I'm confused. Like,
Who would have thought that was under Biden and not
Yeah.
Trump?
Yeah.
I like if you showed me that picture in the past, if you said,
thing
"Hey,"
I've ever seen.
I think that'd be
if you
FDR.
showed me that picture 7 years ago and said, "Hey, Biden and Trump are going to be our president. Here's a picture. Which administration was this under?" I would have for sure, hands down, said Trump.
I would have said FDR. I'm like, that's definitely FDR right there.
Oh, that is big. That is big FDR vibes. But
Yeah. No, but yeah, that picture
I
is...
think it's kind of got like Teddy Roosevelt vibes.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's-
big time Teddy Roosevelt.
That's what I'm talking about, because FDR can't ride a horse. But
FDR.
Oh yeah,
is
he's
fucking
got
crippled.
he can't
He-
fucking walk.
he's
all-
we-
he's
he-
all-
I was thinking Teddy Roosevelt
Same
too. I
here.
don't. Yeah.
You gotta explain the picture.
Oh
So,
man.
so it said it was a Haitian guy, which kind of like, did this guy just hop off of a raft and then get lassoed? Like that would be fucking brutal. But anyways, it was a guy on a horse, a border patrol agent, and he's wearing a plate carrier and wearing like otherwise his border patrol uniform, and he's got a cowboy hat on and a lasso, and he's got this Haitian guy just lassoed, and he's fucking like dragging him to the ground.
It's like such a historic picture too, because the horse is like, bucking up,
Yeah.
so it's like he's
Yeah,
all
it's-
backwards and he's like,
You could like build a statue out
oh,
of this
for
moment.
sure.
there will be. And it'll be
I'm
taken
gonna
down.
3D print it.
Yeah, it would be melted down.
But just so people if you haven't seen this picture, look it up real fast. Because people might be like, oh, I see cops and horses in New York sometimes. And
Not
stuff
like
that.
this.
This
Not
is
like
fucking
this.
America in a picture, right?
Yeah, this is like
Type in,
straight
like-
up
Type in,
cowboy
like,
shit.
Border Patrol Haitian.
That's what I tried.
But
Oh,
what?
really?
There's supposedly like a little over 10,000.
They scrubbed it from the internet.
yeah,
There's a little
for
over
real.
10,000 people underneath that bridge in
Oh, that's
Texas,
the
right?
guy. That's the guy.
Yeah, that's the guy. Okay,
Wrong
here we
photo,
go.
But that's the guy.
Oh wait. This is the one, right?
Oh,
yeah, there he is.
Yeah. There's the dust
Nice,
kicking up.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a. All right, I'll explain. Me and Chris will explain this because they can't see the picture here. Where'd it go? That's one of them. There we go. All right, so yeah, it's a guy on a horse. The horse is like, I guess I kind of lied. It's not. He's not really rearing back, but dude, look at the guy's face. He's like in it, dude.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah, I mean, like Chris said,
I don't know where we're at.
he's a straight up cowboy wearing a plate carrier.
And this guy's barefoot, by the way. The
Yeah,
guy
this-
he's,
the
the
Haitian?
guy he's
Yeah.
lassoing is wearing gym shorts and a t-shirt.
Oh, where'd it
and he's
go?
barefoot.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
And he's holding like an IKEA bag.
It looks like he's got a fish, like
is
a
that
fish
a water
bowl.
jug? Is it
I
a
don't
water
know.
jug? It must be a water jug.
Anyway, it's a Haitian guy wearing gym shorts and a t-shirt. He looks like he's wet, right? Looks like he's soaking wet.
Yeah. He's
Barefoot, and this guy's
probably just got off the raft.
yeah, this guy's on a fucking horse with chaps on,
Dude,
his gun belt with handcuffs, his pistol. He's got, the plate carrier on, the cowboy hat on a fucking horse. And he's got this guy lassoed. Like straight up he's lassoed. He's wrapped up in a lasso.
Holy cow!
Oh, here's like a whole squad of them, dude. There's 4 guys on a fucking horses. with lassos.
It's Texas, bro.
Dude, Texas Border Patrol is like low key kind of badass.
Look at these guys, dude.
Those guys right there. That's like
Oh,
what
that's
they
a good
live
one.
for. They live for that right
Yeah.
there.
Dude, I can
Look
just
at his
hear-
face, bro. He's like, I'm gonna get you.
Dude,
oh, man,
dude,
this
so-
is crazy.
My calves
Just
are faster than you, boy.
Just to recap, from that angle, look at the bag in his hand. It looks like he's got like takeout food or something.
Oh shit, he does.
He's got, like,
that's the
takeout-
same guy, right? Yeah,
he's got like takeout containers. Like,
yeah.
he just
So
went
does this
to-
guy. Wow.
he
Oh
just
look,
went
hey,
to,
but this guy's got a mask on. That's good for
Oh,
him.
you know what happened? He just went to Hibachi and he had some leftover.
That's what it is.
Now, to go back to early in the episode, and American intel, that was probably just an American citizen just walking across the street.
Literally just some guy walking
Yeah.
back from Hibachi.
That's it. Yeah, he just went to
Oh,
Fujiyama.
he's all wet because the fucking sake.
Yeah, the sake
Missed.
drink.
Oh,
He missed
I
and he
can
got
see
almost
that.
soaked with the
I can
sake.
see that because
And he's
I have
good-
been there.
And his,
His white sauce exploded.
Oh my god.
and his good old boys were just like, hey, we saw some refugees and
He's like, you
illegal
fit the
aliens."
description. You fit the description.
It's like,
Laugh
like
at 'em.
speaking like in a pure,
Like what description? Black with a black shirt on? Like what the
Black
fuck?
and in gym shorts.
yeah.
Oh god.
But I don't know. I mean, this could actually go into a pretty good conversation, like our beliefs on the immigration.
Oh wow.
I don't think we've ever talked about it.
Yeah, that's kind of like a libertarian hot topic, right?
Well, yeah, because it's so divided, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like the open borders libertarian, and then like the
Yeah,
whatever the other side.
I mean, I could start off and just easily say a simple.
The get off my goddamn lawn
Yeah.
libertarians.
Are we getting into this?
Yeah, I think so. It's,
All right,
it's
fuck it,
good.
let's
There's
go for
like
it.
10,000 people at the
We're
border.
doing it. We're doing it.
Sometime.
Do we need to grab another bottle? No, I think we're good.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't know, bro. That one's almost empty.
But just to give I'll start it off. You know, when it comes to immigration, I'm not an open borders person, but it should be a shit ton easier to become a fucking American citizen.
Yeah.
like the fact
Yeah,
that
no, it takes like 10 years
yeah,
for some people.
my grandfather became an American citizen, and it like took fucking forever.
Yeah.
And I think at one point I remember talking to somebody about it, and it's like, well, you know, you want to make sure, you know, you get the right people in. Well, it's like at the same time, people are still coming here illegal, so it's not helping anything.
Yeah.
So why not just make it easier? I'm not saying everybody who comes here gets immediate, you know, American citizenship, but again, I'm not passing policy right now, so fuck if I know, and I'm semi-drunk. But it's one of those things where I think it should be a lot easier when that means, you know, you apply, the application shouldn't take 10 years to go through, and then have to take a weird test where you have to like label the presidents. Like, who the fuck cares who the presidents were?
Yeah, I know, right?
Like 80 years ago, and become an American citizen easily. And if you're looking at this from a current government standpoint, then they pay taxes faster, right? That's a lot easier than them getting paid cash at, you know, low-paying jobs in restaurants. They don't pay taxes. And from a libertarian standpoint, like, why would I want to stop someone who's coming here to better their lives?
Right.
When half the time you meet any person who's an immigrant, they work
Their ass off.
more
Yeah.
than anybody who's from here,
For sure.
myself included. Fuck them.
All right, who wants the next go at this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Like Bookie said, I mean, I'm not. It's all dependent on the system that we're in. Like in the current system, I'm definitely not an open borders guy.
Right.
Like,
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Like I would never advocate for us to just open the borders and then like, you know, we have this welfare system that
Right.
people are going to come flowing in to take advantage of. But you know, in libertarian utopia, where or Ancapistan, where people own their private property, you know, if you own a private property on the border, then I think you should be allowed to have an open border. But then it becomes the next person's responsibility. What do they want to accept? You know, so as you know, immigrants would keep moving into the U.S. territory, they would encounter barriers of like people who would say, "Oh no, you can't come onto this property, but maybe you can take a different route," or whatever the case may be. But so yeah, in that case, I would be like, you know, do whatever you want. It's none of my business. It's your property. But once they reach my property, I got my guns out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, that's. I mean, I'm not really going to say anything you didn't just say, but I guess I'm kind of in the same sort of boat. If we're going to continue to live by the system that we are currently living in, which I don't think is going to change anytime soon, probably not in our lifetime. I don't think that we should have open borders, but like Bookie, you just said, I think it should be a lot easier because there's a lot of like good people that want to come here and make a legitimate life for themselves and their family, and I'm all for that. But just to kind of repeat what Chris was saying, if we're gonna do, Ancapistan, you're I would kind of say that the borders are your private property, right? So sure, there's no open borders, but like Chris just said, the borders are everyone's own private property. So obviously you don't want people that you don't want on your property. So, I guess in a sense it would kind of be open borders, but not really. Like,
Yeah, depending on whose property you happen to
encounter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if we're going to all pay into this stupid fucking system we have with taxes, like, it's not fair for me to pay all these taxes and then you take advantage of that while simultaneously not paying taxes,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. Yeah, and I think that's probably my biggest issue with open borders. It's just like is the welfare state. I don't want someone to come here, right, and then I have to pay for them, right? Like I don't. You come here and then you get some sort of welfare, whether it be food stamps or whatever else, and I have to pay for that. No, I don't think so. And I think if they were able to become legal citizens without that, I think that they would. And I think if there's definitely opportunity there for a better system to be in place. And like Brookie said, it's like a ridiculous task to become a United States citizen, which it doesn't make any sense. Just like anything the government's involved with, it takes way too long, and that's why people do what they do.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to wait 10 years.
It's way too expensive.
Yeah, exactly.
Way too many loops.
It incentivizes
and jumps.
people to do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And
you know what it reminds me of? I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
But like adoption. Like they put in all these things in place because people were adopting kids in order to get like some sort of tax write off or whatever.
Right.
Which I'm sure that's happened, but I think most people who generally want to adopt, they want to take care of somebody who doesn't have parents.
Well, not only that, that's also a good argument against the welfare state, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, no, I just think like any times we get involved with the government, rather, not we. Sorry about that. I apologize. We are not the government.
Says we shit.
But when they get involved with things, they make it overly complicated and incentivize the wrong thing to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sad. So yeah, no, I think it should be an easier way to do it, and I also don't believe in the welfare state, and I think that they wouldn't either if they thought they could become illegal citizens or quicker.
Man, when I was doing construction back in the day and roofing and doing that manual labor type work, some of the hardest working dudes I worked with were illegal immigrant, like illegal.
That's
people,
exactly
people
what
here
my plan
illegally
was going to be.
Yeah, and these are the same guys that they do not take handouts for nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
We'd offer to buy them lunch, this, that, like whatever, and they were more content with not taking handouts and just working hard. And
Yep.
I mean, I think
Yeah,
the
no,
whole welfare state
when
is
you-
like doing a disservice to the people that want to come here, like those kind of people that want to come here and just fucking get after it.
Yeah, when you're on like construction sites a lot and shit, like you just said, like you start to see that there's a lot of different types of people out there, and a lot of those guys that for a fact are illegal immigrants. They're some of the hardest workers out there, and I mean, part of it is I better work my ass off so that nobody fucking rats on me. Like I better make myself useful, but also part of it is just that's how these people are. Like they came here. Like it's not easy to get here in the first place.
They came here to get shit done.
So obviously they risked a lot to get here,
And they risk a lot to stay here.
yeah, exactly.
It's like it's
most of them are very hard workers. I remember whenever I was in middle school and I lived in Texas, we had like all sorts of people in my school. We had like the country club kids, and we had like the kids from the barrio, which is like the Mexican ghetto, pretty much.
nice.
And it was like, dude, some of these, so like a lot of the American kids were like, very like lazy and just like not like maybe their parents were like illegal immigrants, but they're naturalized Americans, and they're just like terrible. But the the kids that you knew were illegal immigrants, they were like fucking. They studied like fucking crazy. They're like,
yeah.
I remember this one kid wore like a leather USA jacket to school like
That's
every
awesome.
fucking day.
That's sick.
And we all knew he was like an illegal immigrant, but he's
Yeah.
like the most proud American I've ever met in my life.
And there's something to be said about the culture too, right? Because I think I can't remember where this study was done, or it's an old study, but on average, it only takes for immigrated families from Mexico, it only takes them 2 generations to get to college and into the upper middle class, which.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
I think
says a lot.
I think that's amazing.
That's
I mean,
pretty fast.
that's extremely fast. That there's a lot of natural born citizens that have been how many generations, and they never make it to college. So there's really something to be said
everyone
about the
else.
culture. What's that?
Just blame everyone else for the fact that you're
Right. Instead of
lacking.
So abolish the minimum wage, abolish welfare, and open the borders.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, really, I don't have any problem with that. And sure.
if we're gonna abolish taxes in the welfare state, yeah, I'm all for that.
yeah.
And just so we can mention, so people don't be like, oh, you worried about people getting EBT cards and shit. No, we yes, we mean that, and also abolish the welfare for the companies.
yeah,
Like
all welfare.
yeah,
Yeah.
Boeing doesn't get fucking bailed out.
yeah,
Fucking Lockheed Martin doesn't get free contracts because we're at war.
Amazon doesn't get this either.
Massive transfer of wealth.
yeah, intentional or non-intentional transfer of wealth, like you said.
Yeah.
Like it's just
The
crazy.
government can't shut down small businesses.
Yeah, all this is in my mind under welfare.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's interesting because, I think back when we were, at least me and Cameron at the time, or probably middle school. Bush was president, I would assume.
Sure.
Yes.
And that was like the time where like a lot of, you could say, prejudice against Mexicans was going on, right? It'd be like, they're taking our jobs and all this shit was going on.
That was a huge thing.
But like, one, I would assume that probably wasn't even true then.
No.
Two, fuck, we need people to take jobs right now because people aren't working.
yeah, and plus, fucking Americans don't want to do those jobs.
Yeah.
like half the jobs that they're
That's
fucking,
the point, bro. Like I have a particular set of skills where I drive around neighborhoods all day, and a little white ice cream truck.
Fucking fed.
No. But
Flipping assassin right here.
I drive around and the amount of women landscapers, Mexican women landscapers.
Yeah,
I mean, it is,
dude. I see that all the time.
it is surprising. And I look at my wife and I'm like, there's no chance. There's no chance, bro. She's carrying a weed eater all day. There's freaking no chance.
Yeah, no, I see
but
that all the time,
these
dude.
women work.
Yeah,
bro.
Cameron has a black wife.
Huh? Yeah. I don't know where that's going, but
Yeah, let's move on.
yeah, but there's just no chance that that's happening. I mean, they are hardworking people,
Right.
and they'll do the things that that you and your family won't necessarily do.
That being said, when I was in college, and I mean I was looking for a summer job. So this is a looking back at it, maybe I wasn't the type of person they were looking for, but I was looking for a landscaping job, and it was literally on a military base in Maryland. And the first question he asked me is, "Do you speak Spanish?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "I speak French." Does that help?
Yeah.
I was like, I can kind of understand like every other word in Spanish, but like I can't speak it.
Do you really
And,
speak French?
Yeah,
Chris
my
speaks
first
fluent,
language is
dude.
French.
Oh, dude, I'm
Yeah,
super
when
impressed.
I met his parents a couple weeks ago, I was like, "Whoa, these motherfuckers are speaking French." What?
Yeah. My mom, you can tell her she has a French Canadian accent.
Yeah.
My dad's been
kinda
career U.S. Army, so he's
got
sounds
that-
like an
yeah,
American.
Yeah, he's got that American accent no matter what.
But he
Yeah.
I mean, your dad speaks French fluent though too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
he
you want to
grew
know
up in
another
Canada.
surprising part? Boogie's grandpa is Portuguese.
You speak Portuguese?
No, I was not taught.
Oh, there's the whitest guy at the table, bro. And his grandpa's from Portugal. Whatever.
Portuguese and Spanish are pretty white.
True.
They're Europeans.
But yeah, I don't know. So they asked me if I speak Spanish, and I was just like, no, I don't speak Spanish. So then I never fucking heard from them again. And I was like, this is bullshit, dude.
Like, how you
I'm
supposed
just trying
to communicate with your coworkers,
trying
bro?
to get a fucking job, like, and I can't fucking get a job in Maryland as a landscaper because I don't speak Spanish.
Who would have thought?
So that was kind of bullshit. But then looking back at it, I'm like, I would have been there 3 months and I left. So it's
Right.
like maybe they just didn't want that.
You know, and so I brought up a minute ago just about like if you were to abolish like the minimum wage, you know, and a lot of people look at that like, you know, they would look at that and obviously frown upon it and be like, well, you can't you can't pay people like a sustainable wage or whatever. But you're talking about people coming from a country where they're hopefully not going to get shot by the cartel and can barely surviving, don't have running water and, you know, electricity in a lot of places.
Yeah.
And now they're here. Maybe they're making, you know, I don't know exactly how that all plays out. If we abolish the minimum wage, I think it probably works out well if we do it the right way. Because the free market will, if you have somebody you don't want to lose, you're going to pay them more. That's just, you know.
Right.
That's just
it
how it's gonna happen.
incentivizes good work ethic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're talking about somebody coming from nothing,
Yeah.
you know, and willing to work their way up the ladder. And a lot of these guys, a lot of these Mexican guys they're like supervisors.
Yeah.
Like they don't even, you know, they work their way up and they're like running a whole crew,
Yeah.
or the whatever, and then eventually, you know, like you said, in a generation or whatever, your kids going to college.
Well, because and you know, just to bring this back to the whole, you know, my main point with this is like the culture. These guys, they'll work without any complaint for 12 hours a day.
For
in
sure.
the sun on a roof, hot as fuck, like no complaining. They just work, and you know what they do with every single cent of their money? They give it to their kids,
Yeah.
or they send it home, right?
Yeah.
They give it to their, you know, kids so that they can have a better life and that they can provide for their kids.
Exactly.
It's just like that whole, you know, cultural aspect of it. And it's like, you don't see that with a lot of other, you know, minority groups in America.
yeah,
And,
you know, that's the thing.
I mean,
man.
I would say
you can call me a racist for saying that, but that's just the honest fact of it. You know, that you don't see these, middle-aged, older Mexican dudes that are working the 12 hours. You don't see them driving around, you know, brand new Tahoes with spinner rims or like, you
No.
know,
Yeah.
They learn how to fix their own trucks, and they
Exactly.
drive the same truck until it
fucking
blows up.
blows up.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Go ahead, Bo.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say, you're probably right about minority groups, but I would say all immigrant groups who are minorities
Yes.
are the
Yeah.
same, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like we've been saying Mexicans.
Well, you also got to look at mainly what cultures are that, like what cultures are immigrant, like you're saying.
I mean,
Asians, right? A lot of Asians come
just
here.
non-Americans.
Well,
No, I know what you're saying.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like
but I'm saying
Chinese,
right?
Filipino.
But look at Chinese culture too. Same thing with Filipino culture.
Yeah, no, you're
it's
right.
very family oriented, good morals, good values, hardworking cultures. You know,
I mean, some would say
Well,
it's
it's like you're saying, it comes down to the culture.
right? It's
really.
not about
Like,
race
that's-
at all. It's about the culture.
no, it's definitely not about race. But I would say it's some would call it classic values.
Yeah, traditional values,
Ooh,
maybe?
traditional, yeah, that kind of hold this standard.
Or as the,
That the American-
1980s and 90s Republicans would have said, family values.
Yeah, but it's just
The
funny.
nuclear family.
It's just funny that again, what we were just talking about was an argument back in 2008 for not allowing immigrants in. People thought, you know, they wouldn't be able to sit on the side of the road, you know, waving a flag for the rest of their life, getting $40,000 for the government because the Mexican would take their job. But that was never the case.
Never. Right.
And now honestly, I don't even know if I know the argument now. What's for having such, you know, terrible immigration laws? It's just that we don't have enough place to put them. I don't know. What is it? I know Shapiro's kind of a guy against immigration.
I don't
He's an
see
idiot,
a lot
though.
of
He's a retard.
good
He's
argument
bad on a
against-
lot of shit. That guy.
I mean, I guess really the argument is that they're coming in and then enjoying the benefits of the social programs.
And people just don't mention the fact that like you have to like literally win a lottery to become an American citizen.
yeah,
like
exactly,
that, like it's impossible.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. The conversation about it is horrible.
Yeah.
It's like, build a wall. It's like, okay, why don't we just revamp the whole thing and do it the right way?
And then we don't need to build a wall.
Yeah, and then we don't need.
Well,
you know
I
what
mean,
I'm saying?
maybe still build a wall.
Well,
but
I
make
mean,
it-
I'm
make
not
it-
against build. Yeah,
Make it a fun wall at least.
No, but you know what I mean. Like
Basketball
what
hoops.
what
like
was
with,
it like?
spinny things? And
Yeah.
stuff.
What was the budget for
Inflatable
that
water
to
slides.
do the whole Mexican border? What was the budget for that?
A ton of money.
Yeah, it's like you really can't find a better way to spend that money.
But then again,
You
when
can spend
it
it
got
by blowing up children in the Middle East.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there
a
you
really
go.
good way to spend money.
Yeah.
But
That's
then
true.
that
Well,
guy,
the thing is, we're spending that money already, right? Like,
but that guy started a GoFundMe for it, and it got a shit ton of money.
oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
And that was awesome because you're like, why is no one talking about this? Like,
Yeah, but then
this is literally
didn't the guy like take all the money and run or
Yeah,
tried
yeah.
to?
Did he really?
He tried to.
That's
Weren't-
American as shit.
Weren't people sending bricks to the White House?
Something like
I'm pretty
that,
sure
yeah.
people were sending bricks to the White House. You
Which is
remember that?
stupid because the wall wasn't even going to be made out of bricks.
Fucking
But
steel.
Dude, imagine being the mailman on that route. You know?
you just have a fucking
Literally
a semi truck of bricks.
Oh.
You're like, what the fuck?
I
What am
would
doing?
have quit, bro.
But
I would have quit.
all I'm trying to say is like the fact that that guy
Just
even
drop the mail truck.
And then a
off
Mexican
in
would
front.
have took your job. So
Yeah.
Every morning you have like 6 gurneys of just bricks.
But
God.
again, the fact the guy made a GoFundMe and it raised a shit ton of money. And yeah, he probably was American about it. And was like, well, this money's mine now. But
Like, oop, that's in my account.
but again, the fact that all these people donate that money is like, why can't we do this for things the government wants to do? Just start GoFundMes. It obviously works.
Yeah.
Like, don't take my as much tax money or all my tax money.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is like people will voluntarily pay for things that they want.
Yeah.
And all you need to do is convince them that that they want it. It's just like any other fucking product, right?
yeah.
Hey, Chris, do you have an extra catheter over there?
Oh, you got a piss?
Oh, dude, I gotta pee.
No, I got all of them stuffed inside my urethra.
Well, shit,
Oh,
boys.
okay.
I don't know. We're approaching 2 hours. What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm whatever. I
I'm about
have
to
to
piss
tinkle,
myself,
bro.
too.
I gotta tinkle
Yeah,
real
we
bad.
can probably end this
About to piddle myself.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
before we
I'm
just
over here like squirming in my seat. I'm like,
Before
yeah,
you
I'm gonna
even-
Yeah,
lose
you're
this
giving
thing.
that face. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with him?
slightly
over
more
there?
drunk and slightly
He's
racier
got
about
swollen
things.
nuts from the vaccine.
Jeez. Everyone knows that pee is stored in the balls. Good night, guys.